let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer League podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Coolbet Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macramalla intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. The cracker 6 o'clock, I'm logging with some sirloin bites.
Turn the music off. There. 6:04, Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and as well on YouTube. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen again. This is getting very uniform to say now. It just kind of rolls off the. I mean, it's
I don't like it.
I'm not even going to say in for Dustin Nielsen again. It's Lieutenant Eric and Wil Fraser here on the Nielsen Show, and Zach, the Zach Attack behind the monitors. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's a little bit different to wake up this early. Usually I'm rolling in around 11 o'clock.
You were here at 3 this morning.
Yeah, I didn't even sleep. I kind of just came here. I ran here actually all the way from the south side, and yeah, I kind of just I stood in the corner in the dark to, like meditate, and then we got prepped for the show. So we doing good.
Okay. Love to hear. What are you going by this these days? Can I just call you Zach? Is that like?
I like that. Yeah, that's a. I mean, my mother gave me that name. It's a pretty good name.
I'm all for it. Zachariah though, or Zachary? What was the
Zachary? Yeah, Zachary. Z-A-C-H. Zachary.
Zach henceforth is what we will be going through for this show today. We appreciate your time today, Zach. It's going to be a good show, a Wednesday show. You know how it is. Legal analyst Eric Macramalla will be on the way at 7:40, and that's probably how you're going to get text of the day at 780-218-9999. The Paris Jewelers inbox. We already do have some legal analyst texts coming in. Vance Van Vandervan has unloaded a semi-clip this morning. ESD legal analyst and guy who raps while wearing a polo shirt under the name Nice T, Eric Macramalla. That hits you. Legal analyst and guy who knows the more cowbell is the prescription for disco fever, but still believes in the old wives' tale that a Gedali a day keeps the Travolta away. Any thoughts on those two intros this morning? I think
Keep
we can
them
do
coming.
a little better. Hey, it's a nice groundwork laid down by Vance Van Vandervan, but we will continue. So get your texts in. Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Of course, the Nielsen Show, presented as always by Southford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. www.southfordchev.com. Go out and see them. Southford Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan. We are coming to you live from, as well, the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, to which we said yesterday, the big box feature is back. 2-piece signature chicken, 2 regular sides, and a biscuit with an option for a drink as well. Well, what a night it was in the NHL. We talked about it leaving the show yesterday.
Yeah.
Big night on the ice.
Yeah, it was actually there's so many good matchups, and for all you Oiler fans with your voodoo dolls, they are working.
The not good for the league as a whole with the injury. I mean, Matthews is already shelled up a bit, but
the best player in the world is out with an injury, and now the best defenseman in the game is out with an injury. That's not a good start to a season.
Or
no,
Makar. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
I see what you did.
Well, I mean, Bednar said he tweaked something. I guess we'll see what the but the Holloway one was weird. We talked about this before the show started this morning. Like, did a full loop and
got hit in the neck, did a loop. Kind of then started to have his head tilt the one way, got to the bench, and the trainers were pretty quick to kind of stabilize the neck. Doesn't seem like if you look at the replay, it's not like it looked like it hit bone.
It wasn't straight on. It was kind of like the side,
And there is that big, I can't remember the name of the muscle, but there's two muscles that go on either side of your neck all the way down to your collarbone that, like when you turn your head side to side, that's the muscle that's doing it. That my guess would be that there was some sort of just like spasm that took place. And if anyone's ever like twisted their neck too quickly doing a shoulder check in their car or anything,
you get that shot
you get that shot. That's that sort of neck.
I thought I was the only one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So my guess would be it was probably something similar to that his neck was spasming, and they wanted to make sure that they took all precautions. And so, I mean, literally stretchered off the bench on a spine board. So.
And I mean, reports always come out. I thought maybe it was, again, a direct hit. You're talking about like the esophagus, that type of thing that in there. That's different, though, than a muscle on the side. I mean, still not good. But Norman Combine, Nasty Chat saying Holloway stable. Yes, it looked like he was good. He was taken there, again, precautionary.
Yeah, and he was never... Like it's interesting when you go, he is stable. He was never unstable.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
Like at all times from reports, they never were worried that his heart had stopped or anything.
And that's why if you jumped into that story midway through, you're like stable.
Yeah.
But then if you go back and kind of take it from the first episode,
he was never unstable.
He skated a shift for crying. He's a hockey player. He's tough.
Yeah. So my guess is that it was probably some sort of a muscle spasm caused by the deflected shot up into the neck area. So
if you are on YouTube this morning watching along, hit the sub button, subscribe if you haven't already. The pursuit of 10.5K subscribers continues, and pound the thumbs up. Give us a like, helps the algorithm out a lot. And I love the two good pictures. You and I had a pretty good photo. Zach, we have to thank for that. He was flexing his photog muscle earlier today.
I even got on my knees. I did a lot of...
Whoa.
Hey.
Whoa. That's
I had to get the angle.
HR Daddy, line 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Moss asks, is EST accruing cap space while Dusty is on LTIR?
Yeah.
There might be a little bit of a, what do you call it, a dividend come Christmas time, maybe, that he, sick time and maybe the money that he would have made maybe gets dispersed. I don't know.
My youngest son made me so proud yesterday in the absolutely withering comment he said to me yesterday. He comes home from school. He comes in through the front door. I'm upstairs. And so I come over to the balcony. I'm like, hey, bud, how was school today? And he's like, yeah, it was good. It was good. What about you? I was like, it was good. And he pauses and he looks up to me and goes, is it getting progressively less and less special for everyone?
You came in. You were the mystery man, right? Like, that's what you're talking about, right? Like, are you saying that he's wearing off here a bit? I don't think so. I think the fumes are. It's still magic, baby. I love you coming in.
I'm like, yeah, I'm afraid so, pal. Is it getting progressively less and less special?
The best thing about you coming back was it was going to be in kind of doses.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little sprinkling.
We don't want to OD on the phrase here.
No, this is too much of the good stuff. Yeah. My test. It never goes well for anyone.
Yeah. Amishman19 says EST is going to be able to make a giant acquisition at the trade deadline now, partly why Zach has been called up. Read with that what you will. Between the lines, maybe, moving bodies around and everything and putting money in different places. Yeah. But, no, I mean, this is great. Your invoice is going to be giant. It's going to ruin Matthew Iwanik's.
I've been called worse, but the Drake Kajula of EST is it's not a bad.
If you came in here with a shaved head, man, oh man, lots to get to once again in the NHL from last night.
Hunt.
Brad Hunt. Yes, we've acquired Ronnie Attard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Box Pounder, rumor has it they're going to sign Onrat for the playoff run. Let's just keep, if You want to start an account where these rumors persist, albeit insiders out there in the nasty chat in the Paris Jewelers inbox. The NBA returns today after a day off, as they normally do, November the 5th.
Sure.
That's what the NBA does, scheduling.
Yeah.
So returning today with a full slate of games, one of which will see the Raptors visiting the Sacramento Kings. Also, again, Oilers game day. Vegas Golden Knights rolling into town. A weird Golden Knights team, undefeated at home, winless on the road, albeit playing 0-3-1 away from home, 8-0 on home ice. We'll get into the NHL picture from last night. We saw the Kings pick up another win. They now sit atop the Pacific Division, 2 points up on Vegas Golden Knights, having 2 games in hand right now. But you mentioned the Kings, too, when we were kind of talking pre-show.
Wow.
But kind of going against the grain of what everybody's thoughts of them should be. Right,
right, and I don't even think LA King fan we've been dealing with this a little bit with Jets fan that they want to pick a fight with somebody, and no one's standing around going overrated, right? Everyone's looking at the Jets going, of the people who didn't pick them, they weren't using their brains. This is how the Jets always are. And LA King fan seems very different, where they're just kind of like, dude, we're as surprised as everyone. Drew Doughty goes down with an injury. We thought we were sunk.
And even before that, it wasn't glowing or whatever, but you had a guy like Warren Fogle and sky's the limit, I guess, hey?
Sure.
That's how we want to chart it. Let you know with the rest of the show as well. That's good for the Italian Center Shop.
That's good.
We were sent a video this morning, which may make its way on air.
You're a sicko.
During that segment. I have to play it.
I know.
Why not?
Because you're a sicko.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, sure.
It's why I love you. But you are a sicko.
That's good for the Italians.
That's good.
Speaking of sickos, I can't, that tone and the delivery. You know my kryptonite. You've unzipped me now. That
I know. It always has been.
I'll be at a funeral. You could do that, and I would piss my pants.
Yeah.
That's good at 6:20 for the Italian Center Shop.
That's good.
And the Fan Zone at 6:40, rounding out hour one. I might replay the video for the Fan Zone as well.
Fan Zone.
You could really take this video and dance it all around the menu for today's show. Right?
Wow.
You know this, right? I was sent 2 versions.
to quote my son on it, it's getting less and less special, isn't it? Yeah.
Jamie McLennan, a.k.a. Noodles, will be by at 7:05. He's our TSN hockey analyst this morning. We'll talk goaltending today. Hill v. Skinner, the expected duel between the pipes tonight. Bit of a Four Nations preview, for Canada.
A few future
dress
teammates,
rehearsal, maybe,
going head to head.
if you will. We'll get his thoughts on tonight's game. The
Will
slate in the
McDavid
NHL.
be back in the lineup?
What's this?
Will McDavid be back in the lineup?
Well, what do you think?
No. But
There's what will he? Should he be?
Yeah,
2 different
right?
questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Should he be? No. Will he? That's good.
That's good.
Coolbet Canada hotline of the day. I think Zach will be cooking up a Golden Knights special tonight. Hey, Zach, you're a big Vegas fan, aren't you? Tell the people.
I'm not a Vegas fan. I'm not a fan of any hockey team.
You're a
I'm
Henderson
a fan of the
Silver
sport.
Knights. Henderson Silver Knights. Was that the cap?
No. No, that was a Vegas Golden Knights hat.
It was okay.
I
always thought it was
collect all the
Henderson.
hats, so. Now you put me under the bus now here, Eric.
Hey, I'm
I
just
share
saying.
this to you in confidence.
Look, you don't have to be a homer here. You can cheer for the sport of hockey. You come in here with lots of different garb. You come in here. He's coming here with Flyers garb, Red Wings jerseys, and all at a discount price. This guy is a what do you call him? A
thrifty.
Thrifter.
A thrifter.
Yeah. I'm just a fan of hockey. I hear this often, and it always reminds me of I want to say it's season 2 Seinfeld, when George and Jerry are at a New York City Marathon watch party, and they're battling with each other about who's the bigger idiot. And then right in the middle of it, the woman at the window shouts, "You're all winners." And they both go, "We have a new front runner."
Oh, no.
Good comparison there.
So it's
Good drawing.
Yay, hockey!
Yay, let's go. Well, I knew a guy. I went to an Oilers game with him.
All winners.
Yeah,
Yay.
big Utah fan over here.
Yeah.
Eh?
Oh, yeah. I love
Club.
the Kluba.
We'll get to that too. It was Jets 1.0 v Jets 2.0 last night,
That's
as
right.
you mentioned.
That's right.
Anyways,
Jets OG.
Jets OG. Well, hands off our records. Coolbet Canada hotline of the day from resident Golden Knights fan Zach. He'll be by at 7:20 for more on that.
Yeah.
Just pulling you
But
leg
only
there, buddy.
because he's a fan of everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
He likes a good matchup.
Yeah.
He likes a stout Pacific Division tilt.
Yeah.
That's Screw the Metro.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Competition.
Free advice at 7:30. Maybe a little fatherly advice for Connor McDavid. Look, you have two young boys, one now in school. They're not young anymore, but they're young by comparison, whatever. Yeah. But maybe some advice for dealing with an injury. They've gotten hurt in the past.
My kids will tell you. There's one piece of advice: be a man. Suck it up. Suck it up and get out there.
Yeah, we'll get to that. And look, lots of injuries, right? Kirill Kaprizov left. He got a puck to the mouth. I thought when you got a puck to the mouth or the face, you kind of carried. That was the one appendage that you could kind of say, hey, screw it.
Dylan Holloway needed a spine board.
Just saying. Eric Macramalla, 740 as well, our legal analyst. Hopefully via video link today, as you had a chance to, reconnect with him. Yeah, but only via the phone, which was kind of a tease.
Yeah.
I want him to see you. I want you to see him. I want you guys to share a moment. And he's actually got a nice setup, his home studio and everything.
Everything in his life is pretty nice.
He's very rich.
He should be. Do you know what his billable hours are? Of course you don't.
Slipknot are one of his clients.
You don't have enough money to know what his billable hours are.
It's almost going to be the size of your invoice that you slide under I Want to Store here.
That's right.
Is done. I like how you don't get paid, like you just you chalk it up, right? Like you're just collecting your writing down the times, the dates, and then when it's all said and done, you hand it in for a big lump sum.
It's like the guy who goes to the bottle depot once a year.
Yeah. Why go once a week?
Yeah.
Save it all up for the big. Honey, we're having steak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Kind of easy trivia from Wil Fraser.
Fire up the barbecue and leave the husks on the corn. We're having a meal.
3 questions too many as well, starting off the 8 o'clock hour. That hurts. James H. Brown, Injury Lawyers. Greg Wyshynski will buy from ESPN. We'll do a hot lap around the NHL circles.
Nice.
Of course, Golden Knights and Oilers taking precedence, but all the action last night and upcoming tonight in the NHL. And the wrap for William Huff will conclude the program. Morning announcements once again brought to you by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Yukon and McCord. I think the morning zoo is what they call it, right?
They're back together.
They're, the toilet jokes and all that. And they're going.
They joke about toilets?
Well, it's the Bear, so it's a little off. What do they call it? Off color?
Off color. Yeah.
So tune into them. And our Jess Jackson, she'll be by in the afternoon as well, taking you home. That's the show we all truly love. In the end, that's the driver. But 100.3 The Bear, check them out right now. Once again, on the sharing the iHeartRadio app. And this morning, you can also check us out, tune in and YouTube. But yeah, busy night in the NHL. Jets, as I mentioned, 2.0 improving to 12-1. They defeat Jets 1.0 in the Utah Hockey Club 3-0. Nino Niederreiter scored twice in his 900th game. Good for him. Kyle Connor's 12-game point streak snapped in that. But again, a 3-0 win. The Jets 12-1 now. It just seems like every night that goes by, every game that goes by, from they're like, yeah. And I don't know, is it surprise anymore? Or is it we just have to start admitting maybe to ourselves?
No.
And again, this isn't the playoffs. This isn't spring.
12-1 should surprise you, right?
But regular season Jets is regular season.
Yeah,
but they're good.
But 12-1 isn't like. That's not a really good record. That is an unsustainable level, right? Like, as we talked about yesterday, they're not going to win 70-plus games this year.
They could.
Yes, at this pace, they absolutely
They're on pace,
could. Yes, but that's not what it's. Well, maybe it will be, but so yes, I'm surprised that they are this good, but I'm not surprised that they are a good team.
Correct. Yeah. I guess what would you have as a realistic record for them right now through 13, based on what you know of their roster, their goaltending, and everything else?
They're a 50-win squad.
You add, they're a
50-win squad. So will they end up with 110 points this year? I wouldn't bet against it at this point.
6-1 on home ice, 6-0 away from Winnipeg are the Jets right now, dropping Utah to 5-5-3 on a respectable 5-5-3 on the season for Utah Hockey Club. As well last night. We go along the injury front. Kirill Kaprizov, as mentioned, leaving the Wild, lost to the Kings after taking a puck to the mouth. Kings score 5 straight, dumping Minnesota 5-1. This was the second half of a back-to-back for them as well. With that win now, the Kings perched atop the Pacific through 14 played, sitting on 19 points.
Yep.
Once again, tonight's opposition, the Golden Knights, 2 back with 2 games in hand. Whatever.
Yeah,
they just
Kings
won't go away.
Way bigger surprise.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like seeing the Kings be at the level that they're at is just I don't know how they're doing it.
But more sustainable would be the Jets not going at that 12-1 clip throughout the year, but maintaining top spot. I don't see the Kings Great start to the season. And they started on the road. I mean, they didn't play their home opener until like half of their schedule in here.
Yeah.
So that's something to behold, but that can't continue, can it?
It usually does. Like, usually there is a couple of hot teams that drop off. So which of the current hot teams are going to come back down to earth? You would think LA Kings would be at the top of that list, but we haven't seen it yet.
But again, we keep saying that.
Right.
And we
have not seen it yet.
At this point, I might invest in them. Why not, right?
Yeah.
The Flames has taken an overtime 3-2 over the Habs. Montreal dropped 8 of 10. Maybe that's why Dusty's so sick, eh?
He should be.
Puking.
If their head coach's name was not Martin St. Louis, they would have fired him by now. But the guy's got some cachet to him.
Get a little cred there, yeah.
But
Matt Coronado gets the tying goal and the overtime winner for the Flames, who, again, a middling team, 7-5-1 now, 15 points.
Yeah.
Still sticking around. You know, goal differential hovering around 0 and 500. Maybe that's, and that is what we kind of expect maybe from them. Maybe a little too much, but some people may be thinking that they should be a little below that, but they still are.
They are one of those clubs where you're going, what's the plan?
Yeah.
Like, what's the plan here? Do you honestly think you're a playoff team? Because you're not.
Wildcard team.
Right. And what good does it do you to be that kind of a team, right? This was a team that entered the season with everyone looking at key veterans going, can they and should they offload this guy and what can they get back? And unfortunately, with their strong play, it's putting them in a position where they can't make what's best deal for the long term, because you have an ownership group that wants to be competitive and not necessarily for a Stanley Cup.
The path is there. It's drawn out for you in these leagues, right? With the drafting, the whole bit, like just take the path.
Right.
No, we got to go off-roading. We got to go. Yeah. We'll be competitive. Speaking of competitive and special teams as well, the Leafs scoring 3 on the power play, 6 for 6 on the kill. They shut out Boston 4-0. I know we were talking yesterday about taking Boston over Toronto any day of the week. A shutout there, though, nonetheless. Yeah. And then the struggles continue for the Bruins. This is something that, again, we're talking about success on the other end with the Kings and the Jets, but this is something that cannot last.
Yeah, this
will not be allowed to last.
This loss might get their head coach fired. Right? Like this is one of those ones where, and we've seen it in this town, where you can't have a no-show against certain teams.
Certain teams, yeah.
And if you're a Boston Bruins fan, no showing against the Toronto Maple Leafs makes you really go, oh, something's broken here, because that's the easiest switch for us to flip. And if we can't even flip that switch now, we're in big trouble.
Yeah. Special team is very special for the Leafs. Not so much here for the Oilers, especially the penalty kill, but we'll get into that as we make our way through the show as well. Sabres snapping a 3-game slide. They take it 5-1 over the Senators. Blues dumping the Lightning 3-2. Dylan Holloway, though, as you mentioned, somebody had the voodoo doll out for these two guys. I mean, Broberg and Holloway having a great start to the season.
Fantastic.
Much to Oilers fans' chagrin, but now it's and again, I think somebody tweeted out last night, I hope they're once an Oiler, always an Oiler.
Yeah.
I don't think people were saying that when they were point collecting there early on in the season.
No.
But again, we don't jest. I mean, injuries, I with all due respect.
I would not expect Holloway to miss any time from this.
This is a precautionary thing.
It felt really precautionary, and I mean, I would expect him to be back in the lineup. Maybe they give it a game. Who knows? But it was not a structural damage.
Yeah,
is what it's looking like.
Holloway once again leaving the bench on a stretcher, but this is after he completed a bit of a shift after getting a puck somewhere in the neck region, kind of on the borderline of the neck, kind of collarbone-ish, I guess. But yes, stable condition. And everything seems fine there. Carolina over Philly 6-4. The Hurricanes have won 7 straight. Another team that I think a lot of people felt might fall back a little down to earth given the roster shakeup.
Yeah.
It's funny, they can shake up theirs. Nashville can shake up theirs. And now you have two teams kind of flying in opposite directions.
That's right.
Hurricanes, a tidy team, 7 in a row for the former Hartford Whalers squad. Avalanche double up the Kraken 6-3. Colorado snap a 3-game skid. Cale Makar tweaked something, and I quote from Coach Bednar.
Kind of similar to McDavid, right?
Yeah, and we'll see how tough he is. The toughness competition
That's
continue.
Right. Yeah.
You tweaked something, did you? Well, what do you give?
Drink the pink and you'll be fine.
0.5 to 2.5 weeks on your medical scale, or what are we looking at here? Yeah.
1 to 3.
1 to 3. Yeah. In the Canucks defeating the Ducks 5-1. And once again, just taking a look at that Pacific Division as it stands, the Canucks and Flames even on points with 15. Vancouver with 2 games in hand. You then have the Golden Knights on 17, 12 played, and the Kings who played 14 games atop the division on 19 points. The Oilers 2 back of the Flames. They've played the exact same amount of games. So see if the Oilers can make up a little ground tonight in the Pacific as they host the Vegas Golden Knights. The GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows with Tom Gazzola will hit Edmonton Sports Talk tonight. What's puck drop tonight? 6:30, I do believe, Hayes. So the boys will be on it around 5:30-ish today. Kind of bleeding into the Reed Wilkins show as it's a nice kind of crossover mix there. Reed and Jason Milne, 3 to 6 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And Tommy Gazzola with your GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show alongside Hernan Salas getting underway at 5:30, taking up to puck. Of course, 6:30 on the schedule means in NHL speak, you're looking at, what, a 7:05 puck drop?
Yeah, listen, I
you don't even know anymore.
I actually think that this has been a really nice and subtle change that the Oilers and the league have done. I know if you're a season ticket holder, you're probably maybe a little bit frustrated that it's starting a half hour to an hour earlier than what you're used to, but Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl play on this team. You need to get them into prime time on the East Coast as much as possible. And the difference between starting at 8:30 and 9 o'clock is a big difference for hockey fans.
And this isn't the Sabres. This isn't the Senators, with all due respect to that fan base. This is a big matchup.
Yeah.
Star-studded lineup. So, yeah, you get your main events, and 6:30 to me is a delicious time. I love a 5:30. I understand people working, and that type of thing, but this is great. I love it. 2 anthem night. So factor that into your...
So puck drop at 7:15.
Adds up. 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox is humming along. Troll says Swayman is slowly getting his revenge on Bruins management. Maybe that's the way you want to carve it up there. That's you get your bag. It's much like you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You get paid ahead of these shows, and you come in and you just be you.
But we have talked about that. That like Cam Neely, when does the ire start going his way? Because he comes in right before the regular season and poisons the dressing room.
We did the whole Dumb and Dumber reenactment.
Yeah.
That he's in the stall, for a good time. Pay me this amount of money or something like that. Like we did the whole thing. But it's just you're watching and you're like,
not a great choice.
This isn't gonna do you any good.
Yeah.
Lacombe Drew says the Flames will finish 10th or 11th, spinning their wheels again. Perfect. No, I mean purgatory is where you want your enemies to be. Really, I mean you don't want them to lose too much in order to get those high picks.
Yeah, they have a very similar problem to the Oilers of the 90s in that their goaltending is better than the rest of the team, and that
it's gonna screw you in the end.
It just keeps you middle of the road, right? Like it. Yeah, I would be a pretty frustrated Flames fan right now.
Matt Frey says, "I like you guys, but where the hell is Dusty?" We
are asking the same question.
I don't know, man. I don't get paid to ask questions, nor am I paid for my opinion off the air at this place. I just come by and do my work and show up. As I said to you off the air, one day I will show up here and it won't be you coming in; it'll be him, and business will go on as usual. I don't know.
Be back to normal.
Be back to the slapstick. Whatever.
It'll be a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's back for the. No, but he's under the weather. He's sick. The last update we had yesterday, I do believe Matthew Iwanek, Mr. Lean, said, a steroid? Or
well, he has, my assumption, he has a steroidal inhaler.
But I just like he's on roids now.
Yeah.
He's juicing.
Well, he's so tiny. He could use all the help.
The back knee and everything.
Yeah.
He's just... We shouldn't...
The aggressiveness.
Look, we can cry or we can laugh.
Dusty would be upsetting, actually. Yeah.
How about Sickler checking in? Morning, LT. Guess it's early afternoon from Huesca, Spain? Huesca.
Nice.
Huesca. Are you familiar? Have you? You're a man of the world. I just don't know.
Because my people are from there? No. I don't know how to pronounce it.
2 hours from Barcelona.
Yeah.
That's good. Sickler, nice to see you.
That's good.
Good afternoon. Let us know what you're doing, what you're eating, and what you're getting into. The thing about Sickler is he takes these fantasy trips. Some days he'll text in, "Hey guys, on the road to Red Deer for a business meeting." No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Yeah, so all of this is a bit of a ruse. It's all fake.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's all whatever. We'll get to more texts in the Paris Jewelers inbox here. 780-218-9999. It's Wil Fraser. You don't know how many more of these shows there's going to be. Get him in while you can.
It may not feel special anymore, but it will be.
When it's gone.
When it's gone.
You'll miss it.
Yeah.
Pronounced Weska.
3 years from now, you'll be like, you know who I could see again? That Wil Fraser guy.
We had that stretch.
Yeah.
Zach's in this morning as well. Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser. Zach's got a sports update now for Nisku Glass. So you've been smashing glass lately. You want to get some pressed or anything like that? Nisku Glass is your place to go. Zach's got everything going on in the sporting world. This is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Last night saw 9 NHL games with the Maple Leafs blanking the Bruins 4-0, the Flames etching the Canadiens 3-2 in overtime, and the Jets beating the Hockey Club 3-0. Elsewhere, Dylan Holloway took a puck to the neck, forcing him to be stretchered out of the rink. He was struck by the puck late in the first period before finishing his shift and heading off the ice, where he was then carted off to the hospital, with the team reporting that he was alert and stable the entire time. And in Colorado, Avalanche head coach Jared Bednar said that Cale Makar, quote, tweaked something in last night's 6-3 win over the Kraken, with no current updates on the injury just yet. And tonight, it's the Oilers hosting the Golden Knights in their first matchup of the season, where you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Other games see the Capitals battling the Blackhawks and the Red Wings facing off. The Capitals tonight are playing the Predators, and the Red Wings are facing the Blackhawks. In basketball, the NBA has 10 games on their schedule, with the Raptors in Sacramento to take on the Kings. This sports update is brought to you by Nisku Glass. Whether you're looking for replacement glass or trying to upgrade your space, Nisku Glass is here to help. With high-efficiency windows and modern glass designs, Nisku Glass won't just meet your glass needs, they'll shatter them. Check out their Instagram or call them at 780-955-7989 and see what Nisku Glass can do for you. The Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
To the hollow, the devil may care. If I showed you around my heart, would you mind if I shared to show you what's wrong with me? I will not change it. I will wait patiently while you get painted out. Let me into your untainted tribe, to be the one who gets to live a lie. Oh, let me lie with you. I'll be a perfect stranger. I wanna be that stupid boy that you don't talk about. You better believe there's a sharp knife beside my bed. You better believe there's a sharp knife inside my head. And if you would leave, I would take you by the hand. You and I would leave, but it wouldn't be that bad.
6:35 on the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and live on YouTube. Hit the like, hit the sub as well if you are watching this morning. The pursuit of 100 continues for the likes, and we chase down the 10.5K in subscribers. Mention the EdmontonSportsTalk.com website. The EST pop-up shop is still up. Shop while you can, though. Maddie loves it when people don't take advantage of the time to shop, and then once the shop closes, they say, hey, can I get a hat? Do you have any of those shirts left over? Please, can I get some of Shop now. Now is the time to shop. Christmas is coming. You don't want to be late. The EST pop-up shop is live. It is open. and edmontonsportstalk.com is where you can go. Hit the EST shop tab on the top, and it'll take you right there, and you can do your shopping this morning.
The only person who is happy if you don't get it in on time is Matthew.
He kind of likes saying the no. He likes the no.
No's.
So don't give Matthew the pleasure.
Sorry, you missed out. So sorry to tell you this, but you had your chance.
The Nielson Show presented by Southford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Visit them today out in Fort Saskatchewan or www.southfordchev.com. It is time. I promised a little, that's good for the Italian Center shop.
That's good.
We did get a text, and I'm going here. Look, we won't spend too much time on it throughout the show, but I thought the 6 o'clock hour in this segment is probably the best time to address it. Atif Wheels, our man in the chair, he is off. He is on an airplane this morning. I do believe Denver, Colorado is the site. He'll be Sledge Hockey Championships. He sent in a couple of videos this morning. He's on the plane. When you're on a plane and the engine, it's a very loud engine on an airplane. It takes a lot to kind of get the bird in the sky.
Yeah.
So that's going off. He sent me a video. I couldn't really hear it. And then I said, I can't hear any of it due to the airplane. So he sent another video just closer up on his face.
To his face.
Yeah, which didn't really help. But we'll see how it goes here. I'm going to play it through the mic off of my phone. Hold up.
Go for it.
Good morning, EST, Edmonton Sports Talk Radio, AM Nasties. How are you all doing? I am here on the airplane about to leave for Denver, Colorado. We are then going to Dallas, Texas. We have to stay in Denver for about 4 hours, and then we're on our way. So wish us luck. See, I got the hat. It's going to be like a drone going everywhere. So here we go. It's going to be fun, all right? United out. I'll keep you guys updated. Take care.
Wheels off to Denver, then to Dallas for the Sledge Hockey Championships, and sporting that EST hat, which you can get right now in the EST pop-up shop. He's going to treat that hat like one of those traveling gnomes, to which you didn't know what I was talking about, but taking pictures of it next to, famous things and sites, historical sites,
right.
Points of interest, if you will. Any words of well wish or good luck to Atif?
Good luck, Atif.
You're leaving it there?
I don't know if I can top it.
That's good. The Italian
sounds like he had the vent on above him and then stood as close as he could.
It's for effect.
Got as close as he could to it to get
stood as get it. Yeah. Wheels up, Dustin with a Y says. Good luck, Atif. Look, it's pouring into the nasty chat. I don't think he splurged for the Wi-Fi North Side sandwich. The video quality, it's always something to behold on an Atif whenever I get a text from him. I made the mistake of giving him my cell phone number, and now I get texts and photos and
you
audio messages. I did. I dropped the ball there.
You screwed up.
Damn it anyway. And Amishman19 says, I knew it was going to be Atif. We are spoiled. It's the content continues, and we wish him luck. That's good. The Italian Center Shop.
That's good.
Pick up a pizza today. Hand-stretched, house-made dough, topped with their signature sauce and the best ingredients from the deli. The Pizziolos have done the hard work, so you don't need to you don't have to. Just throw them in the oven, and you'll look like a hero in 10 minutes. As mentioned, great for this time of season. You got the kids. You're a family on the go. The take and bake pizzas or the pastas as well. Hell, you can just buy a thing of sauce.
Or tort, like an actual cake. You can get anything there, man.
The cream horn.
Oh,
I like a good cream horn from the bakery.
Yeah.
Zach, if I could bring you in here too, favorite item from the Italian Center Shop. Are you more of a bakery, sweets and the pastries? Do you like going to the deli counter and just buying random slices of meat and eating them, or are you more for the take and bake items?
Honestly, give me anything but those paninos, man.
He's going the sandwich.
They're
hot
so
and spicy.
Good. Well, Gager had one yesterday. He put it in the toaster oven, and I could just smell it.
Heat him a bit and give him a press. Yeah.
I was like a cartoon character.
Their deli section, they have the best, and I'm not. It is the best bruschetta in the city. Honestly, get that little chunk of bread, you got your evening set. But honestly, I have a hard time going in there because I always spend more than I should.
They get you.
It's the only reliable place. Not that you can't get this anywhere else, but it is unreliable. It's the only reliable place you can find Orangina in the city.
Orangina.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's a pronunciation thing.
If you want...
Tony loves it. Tony loves that. Tony Gazzola loves it.
If you want the perfect mix for alcohol of your choice, you can't beat Orangina. Because... if you use it, you're like it's a health drink.
It's a health. Yeah, you're balancing out the scale there.
Yeah.
Big Maple says the audio, going back to Ortiz's video, was way clearer than in the pump-up songs he sent in during the playoff run. Did you hear any of those? Another one rides the bus.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have any on the file
what a
there.
treat. Hey, Dad, is it getting progressively less and less special?
And you met Wheels at the Nasty Bash, did you not?
I sure did.
I keep setting you
It
up here
got
for...
progressively less and less special.
Tube Sauce asks if he's sitting right under the wing. That's kind of might be flying through Denver. Rob from the Grove says. Troll says Dusty missed the entire World Series. What are the odds he misses the Grey Cup too? Well, I don't know. I mean, there's no odds here.
He'll be there for that.
He didn't miss the divisional semis.
Yeah.
We got the semifinals coming up this week, and of course the Riders visiting the Bombers and Toronto and Montreal to battle the Alouettes. We will get more on that as the week kind of progresses to Friday. It's Iwanek and I Friday, just the two of us.
I know, just two guys staring at each other.
What's going on
for 3
here?
hours.
Come on, man, give me a little bit here. Hey. We'll probably dive into the CFL division finals on Friday. But Ross says, hope you guys are making Dusty get a doctor's note. Not sure I'd believe one of my guys if he took 2 weeks off. Might have just taken a family trip to Mexico or Disney. Look, we do work for Nielson Entertainment. Like, it's in the name.
Yeah, the boss gets to decide just how sick he is.
Sick days? What are those?
Yeah.
Banking?
Listen, I think that would be a valid question if it was anyone other than Dustin Nielsen, but this is his vacation. Like, this place is what he'd rather be doing.
No, you're absolutely right.
Spending time
it is
with his
killing
family.
him that he is off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being at home, he gets to wear the camo shorts. Like, there are perks to
There's
it,
no
but-
such thing as quality time with the family for Dustin. There is time spent, and then I get to go do what I actually want to do.
Can't go to the rink.
Yeah.
All that stuff. EST, maybe that's a question for the legal analyst as well when it comes to the time accrued or money accrued.
Yeah,
all those.
sure. Whatever, man.
You should ask him how you invoice this whole process, too. What's the best way of getting the most you can out of all of it?
I like this. Yeah.
I still say you slip it. It ruins EST. One down payment of like $10,000.
He'll get so fired up.
Rubella 2.0 says EST legal analyst and a guy who killed off a few people in the book he's writing to make his autobiography more interesting, Eric Macramalla. Once again, $20 to A&W on the line today for text of the day, 780-218-9999. It's usually the legal analyst texts. But if you got something else, by all means. But Eric Macramalla joining us later this morning at around 7:40. We'll get his thoughts on the NA. Well, he's a Habs fan too. He can kind of tell his opinion going on in Montreal right now. Yeah, right. Old Nielsen says, great job this morning, men. Enjoying the show as usual. How is prepping going for the 12 days of Christmas, Lieutenant Eric? You were around when I used to do that, right? No, or when I used to belt out the
Yeah.
I still do that. They still want it. I don't want to do it, but it's still
a thing. Hey,
still a thing, and I do it live.
Yeah, I'm just happy that Yegface is still a thing.
Well, because we don't get a physical paper in here. I wish
know.
it was, but hashtag YEG Sunface, and that's you'll get a good laugh there. Is the pregame show at Hudson's on Saturday, and if so, which one? That's a great question, Vance Van Vandervan. If you head over to EdmontonSportsTalk.com as well, not only do you get the Shop EST tab, but 2 tabs next to it, it says On Location. And you can pretty much write your own calendar with where we're going to be, whether it's NFL nights with myself.
Stalking has never been easier.
Look, Matt made this, so it takes one to know one, right?
We give you access to Find Our iPhones. Like
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
You can track us as it goes. The next time that
we all
Tommy
have air tags on us at all times. Like
Tommy will be doing the GCL Diesel pre and post game November 16. So that's not this Saturday, but next Saturday at Boston Pizza Westgate, which is right in my neighborhood. Maybe I'll pop down there and see. You could even come down and
I'm busy.
Share a plate of the Thai chicken bites.
I'm pretty sure I said I was busy. So,
yeah, no guarantees will be at any of these, but you can join me next as well, Thursday Night Football. Bengals and Ravens, Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Let's get into that. That's good.
That's good.
For the Italians, this is the last time this week that we get that because you're not here Friday, so this is it.
Sure.
Very selfish for me, but I'm going to miss
it.
Could you maybe go on an airplane, send me a video of you saying that underneath the wing in the vents? I would love that.
I'll find the cheapest flare ticket I can just to stand in the air. You know what? That's actually pretty affordable for a bit.
It'd be worth it for the bit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Put it on the invoice.
Exactly. Yeah. $85 to Flair Airlines? It's for a bit. Did you go anywhere? Nope. Got on the plane,
got on,
recorded it, got off.
Got off.
Yeah.
Lit up a smoke and they kicked me off.
Yeah, exactly.
The Italian Center
pulled
shop.
the emergency exit.
Yeah. Is that a pen? Yes. Visit the Italian Center shop today, West End or any of the locations in and around. And as Zach mentioned,
Sorry,
get the,
you have
the
to
hot
turn off
spicy.
your cell phone. I'm afraid I won't.
You're out of here. Let's get into the fan zone for fans first, by fans, for fans. No fees. It is the fan zone. Get your tickets, Oilers tickets, all season long, www.fansfirst.ca. Where are we going with the fan zone? Once again, there were a few texts, and if you want to get anywhere with the fan zone, remember, add fan zone to the text. I did see a couple in there, and of course, the Paris Drew's inbox keeps going and going and going. Fan, I guess I can always do the search function. No, that didn't work. Fan, here it is. RBM, subtle fan zone phrase I have time for, but I think yelling fan zone phrase might just be a game changer. People want fan zone phrase, but fan zone tonight, and I think a good one. You mentioned the start time tonight, 6:30 puck drop between the Oilers and Golden Knights, which means Tom Gazzola, you have your GCL Diesel pregame show starting at 5:30. But, you know, again, for the fans, by the fans, no fees. You mentioned this is good for the league, getting these puck drops, getting these marquee matchups. It's not so always about Central Time or Mountain Standard. You do have to think about the East Coast. That's where everything happens. That's
Won't
where
someone please think of the East Coast?
for so long, we sit here in our own bubble and we say, yeah, screw them. Even Atlantic Time,
yes.
There are a lot of Oilers fans on the Rock.
Yeah.
You know, guys like Dennis King.
Newfoundland.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Won't
the half hour extra.
Won't somebody think of them? And I think, 8 o'clock, 8:30, I mean, you're watching games into the wee hours of the morning the next day.
The wee hours.
Yes, that's the Atlantic coming out. But no, this is good. We talked the Monday game, Amazon Prime, I think everybody kind of had their say. To me, it seemed like it was more positive than negative. Everybody hates a new thing.
Yeah,
right?
I'm glad that Oiler fan got a chance to experience it because I have been tuning into it going, this isn't bad.
And I thought...
And I've been so used to the current media landscape of, yeah, we'll take that, and then let's figure out how to do this as cheap as possible. And it does feel like who's ever doing the prime broadcast actually has a budget and is using it.
But also, I think, and I'm not going to, sports fans, hockey fan doesn't like change. We all don't like change, even if it is good.
Right.
You'll stare it in the face knowing it's good and say, don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do it. I was pretty impressed with the response Tuesday morning coming in here and seeing most people say, hey, credit to this, credit to that. And yeah, it's different. Yeah, it takes me out of my routine of how I consume it. But
it's because they're not trying to reinvent anything, right? There's no glowing pucks. It is literally just, hey, let's go get a really good play-by-play man. Let's go get a really competent color guy. Let's throw some money at the broadcast and not screw it up. And I think that's all as a sports fan you're really looking for is just don't screw up the broadcast, man. Like, just give us what we want. And so far, so good.
Cam asks, can I get a turn your headlights on before I have to get out of my car? Fan zone.
If it's not too much of a problem, could you turn on your headlights? Is that what he was looking for?
Signature.
Yeah.
1.5 hour extra from the East time zone, so even later. Are you talking Atlantic?
No, he's talking Newfoundland time.
That's Newfoundland. That's different than the Atlantic. Yeah, you're way out there. Hey?
You're way
not even Labrador. Like you're off the.
you're on the Rock.
You're touching a step takes you to the Irish Isles or whatever it is.
What is it? McLennan, Saint Pierre. What is the French territory that's 30 kilometers off the coast of Newfoundland? Anyone remember? Anyone remember from social studies?
Put it on the map. Hey, somebody's got to be listening from there. Hey, because I mean,
Sacred Blue. Absolutely.
Bleu, I think is what they call it. Yeah. Vance Van Vanderdam.
It's actually one of those places I've never been, and I'm desperate to go there.
How do you get out there? Boat then? Hey, you can fly.
No, there's like a
float plane,
like a 20-minute flight from Newfoundland into, and it's an EU country, right? So you
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
It is technically French territory.
I thought you were talking about like a Quebecois French.
No. Like
this is real French.
France is literally like a stone's throw away from Canada.
Chris says maybe Dusty's working in his backyard rink, setting up boards and stands. Fan zone. You don't do any of that backyard rink stuff. I mean, the kids, you have one boy at home.
No, we have got a pond down the hill.
You can skate your laps.
And all the neighbors it's. I don't want to brag too much because I have had people come out go, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and it really is. We do a little jam jar curling all winter long.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, so right now we're just saving up the milk jugs. So
who needs the pebble when you have the pond, right?
Yeah,
that's the saying
right.
for the yeah. Pat says St. Pierre and Miquelon.
St. Pierre and Miquelon. That's right.
So he's got it. I knew you knew somebody. Yeah. Library Pat confirmed. Yeah, he's in on it.
Yeah. Now I need to know, has anyone been there? That's
the second step. If you've been, don't be shy.
I hear it is literally like walking into like old France. Like it is like 100-year-old buildings and baguettes everywhere.
And you need to bring euros. Like it's the full meal deal. You can't be like, I gotta like they don't. Fascinating stuff. What did you learn on the show today? St. Pierre and Miquelon.
Miquelon is France.
Zach, you know that? You're fresh, like you're younger, so you're more fresh out of school. If I did learn that, I would have forgotten it by now. But they never.
Oh, I always forget that. I forgot it like the week after learning it. I did the test. I crammed for it. You forget it. Like I barely know what the capital of Canada is.
Yeah.
What's wilder is that like there are kids who grow up there as full French citizens, like they are French, but they're kind of North American. Like it's kind of wild. Like a lot of them end up going to university in Canada because it's a shorter trip back and forth than it is going to France.
It's a lot of paperwork, though,
right? Yeah.
I love those territories that are out there, but you don't know, and you're like, oh yeah, that is it's a Spanish. There's Spanish or something like that.
There's also an island just north of Newfoundland that's cut in half, and this just recently happened, and half of it is Canada, and the other half is Denmark. Crazy, right?
What's that one called? 780-218-9999. Dave in Section T says St. Pierre and Miquelon featured in the Peaky Blinders. Oh, I don't recall.
I'm sure it was some sort of prohibition, sort of like to get European liquor into the States.
Troll says useless geography fact: Canada and Denmark now share a land border up by Greenland. Look that one up. Okay. Well, this is great. I am.
Yeah.
They are allowed to study in Canada.
I just want to know if St. Pierre and Miquelon is also a half hour ahead of everyone else.
What's the time? Or are they France time?
Right.
Like actual France.
That's right.
Like they have to, so night's day and day is night, and it's all.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
You think their time change, our time change is frustrating. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. The fan zone, 780-218-9999 is the number to text. I think it also sucks for fans of general league, and we kind of touched on it too, is the injury bug has bit the NHL, and it's bit it in the butt.
Well, and it started
quite hard.
Drew Doughty goes down early.
Preseason.
In the preseason, and it's kind of just continued where not only is it injuries, but it's injuries to impact players, right? The absolute stars of the game. So, and Dylan Holloway. Oh, Dylan Holloway burn. He's no Broberg, I'll tell you that.
Well, he's no Broberg. But yeah, just going down the list here, I mean, it's Kirill Kaprizov taking one to the mouth. I mean, given a lot of these maybe aren't too long, status long on the shelf. I mean, again, going by your weekly count is always kind of funny here, but
he'll be gone for 1 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, Connor McDavid should be back soon, as we know. He should be back within the hour, almost according to some people. But yeah, I mean, Cale Makar, that's another one, and having a pretty good season thus far, albeit young,
as he always does.
As he does. But yeah, things piling up here for the Blues as well. They've got a couple of people on IR as well. Austin Matthews is out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and even look, the Canucks and Thatcher Demko. I mean, he is their big player, and I know he isn't factored in for some time, but that's another big name around the league that
Canuck
you could kind of market.
Would also tell you that Elias Pettersson is also
it's
also been missing for a while.
Mercy. Yeah. Well, again, you get the bag. Hey, who cares? Again, it's like you getting the prepay here.
Yeah, that's right.
For the show.
That's why they haven't paid me. They're like, that guy won't show up. We cut him a check. He's gone.
Paul from The Rock says the ferry is 4 hours from me.
Okay. Very cool.
To get to St. Pierre and Miquelon.
Yeah.
I like how this is just taking over the fan zone today, but that we're all fans of St. Pierre and Miquelon this morning. Edmonton sports talk, more like Edmonton geography talk. Make
Why
the
not?
hat. EGT. I'm here for it. Fan zone.
Fan zone.
Box Pounder says, what do you call a French guy wearing cheap sandals?
I don't know. What do you call him?
Philippe Philop.
Hilarious.
You know what? This might pip a Macramalla intro today for Text of the Day.
Yeah.
Box Pounder, that is top drawer.
Yeah.
Top drawer. Philippe
love it.
Philop.
Yeah. In fact, I think Eric Macramalla will appreciate that.
Hans Islam? No, Hans Island. Is that the one?
Hans Island is the one that's
the
split.
Danish?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I corrected to Hans Island. Island in the center of the Kennedy Channel.
Yeah.
Nares Strait in the high Arctic region, split between Canadian and Danish autonomous territory. Look, I am. We need to get back on track here. It was a big night in the NHL.
In the Chell.
And NBA action returns tonight as well. Full slate, as mentioned. The Raptors are back on the court tonight in one of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
And Champions League
12
continues.
Games. We do not need to talk about soccer.
Why not?
The
Why
Lakers
not?
are in Memphis.
Young boys are playing.
Of Burn.
The burning young boys.
Lakers also on the court tonight in Memphis. We're past that. The rest of the show, almost through hour number 1 right now. Zach, can we get a conch? Just give a conch for all the geography studs. Jimbo in the nasty chat says the French in me is offended yet entertained. Yeah. How could you not be? That was a top Philippe Flop.
It gets better. You know what? That once again, it's the B sharps. That's what it is.
Jamie McLennan will be live from TSN. He's our hockey analyst for Pro M Sports just after the top of the hour here. Coolbet Canada hotline of the day. We'll crack into a bit of an EST Golden Knights Oilers parlay. Zach will have something cooking for that. Your next chance at a keyword for the EST Flyway to LA. That's coming up just after Coolbet. We will give you a word. You'll text it in and be by your phone. You could be a lucky qualifier today. It's a trip to LA. You got the Clippers and Warriors. You got the Rams and the Cardinals. And you got Edmonton taking on one of either LA or Anaheim in ice hockey action.
We will give you a collection of letters that spells out something familiar to you, but not necessarily a word.
Look, I am not at all able to qualify. But I do love these contests that I want to cook up because of the words. And at the old place, we hated them so much because of promotions department. Yeah. We had no idea about sports or anything. Right. Would make up book and the. So that was one thing. But Maddie really tries over the top. So I find it delicious to what he comes up with on a day-to-day basis. Free advice for Damon Bunting, Edmonton's resident slumlord and a top realtor. And legal analyst Eric Macramalla will be at 7:40, hopefully through video link. TBD, I guess, in and around that time. But 6:58, this is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, presented by South Fort Chevrolet, coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Keep hammering the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Or if you are watching on YouTube, crystal clear video and audio. Pound that like button. We are approaching 100. Let's change 100 here soon. And hit the sub if you haven't already. Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen. And Zach this morning producing the show, doing a great job. Let's hit an early sports update here. And we'll get to Jamie McLennan here just after 7 o'clock here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
There was 9 games in the NHL last night, including the Maple Leafs shutting out the Bruins 4-0, the Jets blanking Utah 3-0, the Flames winning 3-2 in overtime against the Canadiens, and the Avs doubling up the Kraken 6-3. And in the win, Avs superstar Cale Makar reportedly tweaked something with no farther updates on his injury just yet. Down in St. Louis, Dylan Holloway was stretchered off the ice out of the rink, after taking a puck to the neck. The incident occurred late in the first frame, with Holloway staying on the ice for the remainder of his shift, being carted off once he came back to the bench. The Blues say that Holloway was stable and alert the entire time. And on tap tonight, it's the Oilers battling the Golden Knights with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30 with Tom Cazzola and Hernan Salas getting you set for puck drop. Elsewhere, the Blackhawks go at it with the Red Wings, while the Predators take on the Capitals. And basketball sees 12 games on the schedule, with the Raptors tipping off against the Sacramento Kings. This sports update has been brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292. And just after the break, or there's no break. Wow, I'm so used to the Reed Wilkins show. Oh my gosh. Jamie McLennan in just a few minutes. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Give me a quick
Oh, it's so good.
7:01, it is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming worldwide on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and of course on YouTube with the visual component. Always spruces things up a bit more.
That leap you just performed?
Well, you can't hear that.
That's good.
Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, we're a little behind. Yeah. It's good to catch that. Nasty chat's humming along. It's good to see. No breaks, get back to work. Amishman 19 says, look, Zach, you can be forgiven. You are in a zone doing the Reed Wilkins Show every day, 3 to 6 here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Folks, he's been up since 2 o'clock this morning, okay?
Yeah, I've been playing Call of Duty.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Yeah.
Like Call of Duty. Yeah.
Odd. What are we looking at here? No breaks, get back to work. Yeah, all gas, no breaks. Yeah.
Hey-o.
Yeah, we're good. The French in me is offended. Yeah, we got to that by Jimbo. Look, that kind of took off and it's kind of strangled the show. We're going to look to
Philippe Philop,
St. Pierre, Milquin.
Say the joke again, just in case you missed it. Just in case you missed the joke.
Well, Box Pounder, I again, clubhouse lead right now. What do you call a French guy wearing cheap sandals? Philippe Philop.
Killer.
And he's got the apostrophe. Everything's. It's not just hastily put together.
You can dine out all day on that joke at work. Take that, put it in your pocket, and pull it out when you need it.
You could probably double it up.
Yeah.
One in the morning and one in the afternoon.
You got an afternoon staff meeting? Hold on to it. Everyone's going to need that little palate cleanser. Yeah.
Box Pounder, I think it's pretty safe to say you're probably going to A&W today. But if you think you got something that can top that, cheap French jokes, get them in 780-218-9999. There's got to be more.
You won't miss with that. I'm saying that's a guaranteed. Even people who hate it will love it.
It's a chuckler.
Yeah.
You should actually ask Noodles when he joins us.
Completely out of context.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Macramalla is going to love it.
Yeah.
Nielson Show presented as always by Southport Chevrolet. Hey, check them out today, 4th Saskatchewan Way. Drive a little, save a lot. www.southportchev.com. Go see Daniel, Claire, and the team out there. Great little dealership, and maybe they got a deal for you. Coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Should mention as well, and they have brought it back, it's the big box, 2-piece signature chicken. To which you would say you'd get the back strap yesterday?
The back piece.
The back piece.
Yeah,
you want the back.
Yeah. That's good.
And you and I could eat a whole bird. And we wouldn't squabble. We would
never
argue.
Fight.
No,
we would be completely in unison.
You have that, yes, because I don't want it. Yes, and you have that piece. I don't want it either. 2-piece signature chicken today, 2 regular sides, and the biscuit, to which we would also share and
That's
take
right.
Bite off. Option for a drink as well. Go check it out today at
Not
Popeyes.
a napkin to be found either. Like just.
I make use. I like to wipe my face and fingers after every single bite.
You don't just dab with the hair.
Leave a little for later, eh? That's good.
I like it. Adds some weight. I don't like flyaways.
I like a little color, a little shine. You know,
that's right,
who needs a conditioner when you? Norman Combine says EST legal analyst and guy who signs Dustin Nielsen's doctor's notes that are written on sticky pads. Eric Macramalla. It's no Philippe Philop, but we're trying there. Brandon from Windsor says Fortune, Newfoundland is where the ferry docks.
There you go.
So we're kind of napping.
That's where I need to go.
Mapping the way. That's where we need to go. We were learning a lot. That just kind of threw me. St. Pierre, Miquelon. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other one was the Danish split.
The land border.
Hans Island or something. Hans, Hans, yes. Hans. Oh, boy. We are rolling. Jamie McLennan scheduled to join us in a matter of minutes here. Once again, third hour.
Booby. This is radio.
Mentioned hour number 2, kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many. That hurts for James H. Brown Injury Lawyers and Greg Wyshynski as well for a full NHL picture, all ahead of the wrap for William Huff. Should mention as well the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows with Tom Gazzola. That gets underway today at 5:30, kind of in partnership with the Reed Wilkins Show featuring Jason Milne, so they'll get you set for the Oilers and Golden Knights
Ready
tonight.
To rock and roll, yeah.
Absolutely. That's the place to do it. Hernan Salas along for the ride as well, so they will set you up and take you down this evening following tonight's action with the GCL Diesel post-game show. I think Noodles is ready. He's in the bullpen there, so we welcome him back. Jamie McLennan, he is our EST hockey analyst today. It's brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. They have just launched a private signing with six-time Stanley Cup champion Mark Messier. You can submit your items or select from theirs, located in Edmonton, corner of St. Albert Trail and 128th Avenue, or online at proamsports.ca. Noodles, welcome back to the program. Of course, Dustin Nielsen still off. He is still battling whatever he's battling. Wil Fraser alongside Lieutenant Eric today. But let's get into it. It was a busy night. We'll get into that. But it's the Golden Knights in town taking on the Oilers. Oilers, of course, dropping that 3-0 decision on Monday. It's a team that, as we've said, never gets too high, never gets too low. I think a few positive things you can maybe pull out of that game and the weekend as well against the Flames. But what are you kind of seeing being the story tonight, and how can the Oilers slow down a very good out of the gate here Vegas Golden Knights team?
Well, I think you got to find a way to, play consistent. The one thing I've noticed with the Oilers is I really liked their start the other day. I thought Jake Allen was the difference, especially, Adam Henrique has a couple big chances. Excuse me, Connor Brown, in alone, Zach Hyman, and they don't bury it. So what happens is they get away from, what they need to do. And to be honest, their special teams are costing them points. Like, if 5-on-5, they're fine. They know how to play hockey. They know how to sort things out defensively. But, the penalty kill, to me, you give up that goal, and I know people will criticize Pickard. It goes through the bodies. He's moving from right to left. But watch RNH on that play. I mean, I don't know who he's guarding, and he's at the top of what's called the diamond. They shift. They get spread out. To me, when they were at their best, okay, last year, I felt like they set a record in the playoffs. It was like 30 straight kills, something like that. It was ridiculous. But what they were aggressive and they were connected. Everybody to a man knew exactly what they were doing on that kill. Right now, it's like, hey, I'm just going to run around and try and be aggressive and sticks are in the wrong placement. To me, guys they don't look connected as a four-man group. And their power play still, I don't think, and I know missing McDavid is a key piece. So if you're missing McDavid, then you have to simplify. It's one pass and it's a shot and you jam away and you try and create that way. But that's what's cost them points here early on in the season, has been their special teams. Got to find a way against a very tough Vegas team tonight. So this would be a big challenge for the group.
Eric was mentioning it earlier. This is actually a matchup of two potential Team Canada goaltenders going head-to-head tonight. It really is the only question mark when it comes to Team Canada and the Four Nations, isn't it?
It really is. And, I would give Jordan Binnington the inside track. I would say Stuart Skinner has to be there. Aiden Hill has to be in the conversation as well. Darcy Kemper. And I've got a dark horse. For me, it's Marc-Andre Fleury, a guy who's been there, done that, won a cup. Everybody's saying, okay, on paper, it's the weakest link. Correct. But the players that I've talked about, outside of Stuart Skinner, but he played 82 games last season, Jordan Binnington's won a cup. Aiden Hill's won a cup. Darcy Kemper's won a cup. And if you throw in Marc-Andre Fleury, he's won several cups. So when people say, well, can they get it done on the biggest stage? Those guys have proven that they can get it done on the biggest stage. Whereas if you look at the U.S. goaltending, which is very deep, I don't know if any of them will be, cup winners come in February. So I look around the league. Yes, Canada on paper might be weaker, but again, they have pedigree from guys who have been there and done that. So I think it will be a nice challenge head-to-head, Stuart Skinner versus Aiden Hill. But the bottom line is if you're Stuart Skinner, you need to give your team an opportunity to win this game tonight, and that's making the saves you should and maybe a couple that you shouldn't.
Noodles, does the NHL have an injury problem right now? Nothing. There's no major injuries, but your best player, your best defenseman, and your best goaltender are all out with injuries at the same time.
Yeah, it's hard because I think you've got a condensed schedule. I will openly admit, and I probably shouldn't because I'm in the media and we like creating content, I'm not excited about the Four Nations Cup, to be honest. I really don't care that much about it. And the reason being is, you could argue that some of the best players in the world aren't going to be there, in Kucherov and Vasilevsky and Shesterkin and Draisaitl, and you can go down the list. So is it, would I prefer that instead of an all-star game? Sure, but it's when you say best on best, well, you're kind of missing some of the best. So, but yes, injury issues. I think it's condensed schedule. I think I feel like the game is at an all-time high as far as speed and the parity. So every night, every 2 points is so critical. So you are seeing guys that are dinged up, and maybe there is a thought process with the teams and their sports science to load manage. If a guy has a little bit of something here, a little bit of something there, instead of forcing it or trying to play through it, it's like, hey, we're going to shut you down for a week and see if we can reset. So I do think it's just an unfortunate battle right now for the league where some of the best players are on the sidelines.
TSN's Jamie McLennan joining us this morning for Pro-Am Sports, and Raj in the Nasty Chat says, I second that, and I think that's in relation to your Four Nations. Look, we don't all have to like it, and especially in the middle of a season when you're paying guys to play for your team, and they go off, and really you're kind of just hoping nothing happens.
And that's the other thing I'm going to add to this is everybody's excited for it. So listen, I agree with you, Raj, and I appreciate the comment, but it's more about, listen, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be talking about it, all of that type of stuff. But we are also, general managers are going to be on pins and needles.
Yeah.
Because what if there is injuries that come out of that tournament where we saw, I think it was John Tavares that got injured years ago, where that really, messed him up. Eric Stahl got an injury, at an event. I think that was the World Championships. But, bigger picture, it is competition, it's revenue, all of that type of stuff. But until we get it all sorted out, maybe I'm more just looking forward to the Olympics, which is, the real deal type of thing.
Yeah, and let's just go around league to the East, and we were talking earlier today too in the Boston Bruins, and Will made a good point. When losing games is losing games, and struggling is struggling, but when you fall to a team that is traditionally a rival in the Toronto Maple Leafs and fall hard 4-0, what hour is it at in Boston when it comes to the Bruins right now?
Well, they were coming off 2 shutout wins, so I think they, you could argue this for several teams, including the Edmonton Oilers. They haven't found that consistency within the game where it's like, okay, that's what that team is. So we all saw in the playoffs a team in Edmonton go very deep, and they found this formula that they played tight defense. Every bit of ice was contested. Their D played mean. Their top players, got the job done. We talked about special teams. I look throughout the league, and some of these teams, and I'll throw the Boston Bruins into that bucket, they just haven't found their consistent game yet. I watched both of their games on the weekend. They were shutout wins, and they were tightly contested wins. Yeah. Last night, I think the Maple Leafs deserve some credit. They played really tight. They played well. And to be honest, if I want to be lazy, I could just say Stolarz outplayed Jeremy Swayman, because Stolarz made a couple big saves where, that game could have been 1-1. That game could have been 2-1 Boston, and Stolarz made some saves in tight. So I think when I look at the Boston Bruins, I can throw several teams in there as far as from a consistency standpoint. The only team that is very consistent on the other side is the Winnipeg Jets. All they do is win.
Will they ever lose? They're 12-1 now. Yeah. It's interesting. We have defensive Jets fans who join us here on the program who feel like their team was dismissed to begin the season. And from some analysts, they were. But this is kind of what the Jets do every year, isn't it? They have great first halves.
They do. And, okay, there was not last year, the year before, they were in first place in the league in January, and I remember saying, and I did watch them. I'm on the Jets panel tomorrow, but I watched them live, and I said, this is the best team in the league. And, when you look at it, I will say, and I think I've openly admitted this, I feel that Winnipeg's going to go deep in the playoffs this year, and I felt Tampa was going to go deep in the playoffs as well. Those are the 2 teams that I circled that people were sleeping on. Tampa's lost 3 in a row, so they got to get their act together. But I liked what they did in the offseason. I liked, for Tampa anyways, I liked that they made business decisions a lot like Vegas did. You know, you could do it with the heartstrings and say, hey, Steven Stamkos, you're coming back. What's your number? No, we're going to upgrade in Jake Gensel, and we're just going to move on from a captain and a legacy guy. You bring in McDonough to shore up, and you move out Sergachev. That Moser's a good player. So I like what they did. Winnipeg Jets, I don't think get enough love because when we talk in Canada, it's all about star power. So it's McDavid, Draisaitl, it's Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. It's, Pettersson. It's, you go down the list and you look at Winnipeg, it's like, okay, well, Hellebuck won the Vezina. Josh Morrissey is probably going to be on, the Four Nations Cup. Mark Scheifele's a hell of a player. They got a healthy Nick Ehlers. Cole Perfetti at 22 years old is really coming into his own. Gabe Velarde is healthy. That's a guy that they acquired in the trade for Pierre-Luc Dubois. That team, if you look at the way it's built, there's really no weaknesses. Logan Stanley's turned into a player, kind of what, the Edmonton Oilers had hoped for Desharnais. They, drafted and developed Logan Stanley, and he's really become a solid stay-at-home mean defenseman. So the Winnipeg Jets have a formula there. And the way they've been built, let's see if they can sustain it, because you're right. They always start like gangbusters and then they kind of limp into the playoffs. So we'll see if they can be a little bit stronger this year.
Staying in the West and going to the Pacific, and another team we were discussing in the LA Kings, and we talked injuries. I mean, they got the ball rolling with Doughty in the preseason, and you're just kind of wondering, that's a blow, proving not to be, at least thus far, 8-3-3. A team, too, that I think... and maybe even their fans not expecting to be where they're at. Maybe it doesn't last all season, but what do you make of this 14 games played Los Angeles Kings sitting atop the Pacific?
And there's some accountability there, too. I don't know if this kind of flew under the radar, but it was Kevin Fiala. Hey, you're a healthy scratch. Stuff like that where, if you're in the market, you watch them every day, you're like, okay, I can see the move by Jim Hiller. But you're outside of the market going, why are they sitting out a top player? Well, it's because they didn't like what they were seeing from him. And to me, LA is a team that flies under the radar. And I know the Oilers have beat them 3 years in a row. So it's like, okay, people maybe don't take them that seriously. But they have drafted and developed. You're right. Missing Drew Doughty is massive. But they've got a defensive core that's, big, mobile, young. Their forwards are deep. Quinton Byfield has really arrived as a top-tier player.
Yeah.
Adrian Kempe a couple years ago arrived as a goal scorer. For me, Kopitar is timeless. Like, the guy is 37, I think, now, and he just, all he does is play well. So they've got the spine of their team is really solid. And Darcy Kemper, outside of putting up an 8 spot the night that I called a game for the Ottawa Senators against him, and then he had an injury afterwards, he's stabilized that net. And I can't take credit for Pierre LeBrun, who is a colleague of mine, wrote an article for The Athletic saying, goaltenders' careers go to LA to be revived. Ask Cam Talbot, David Riddick, you name it. They go down the list. And Darcy Kemper is going to go there and put up some good numbers because the way LA plays. So I wouldn't sleep on LA. They're a very, very good team. That being said, the Oilers, I don't know how you guys feel, and I know I'm getting long-winded, but I need more from some of their top players. Darnell Nurse has not found his consistency. RNH still, for me, is stuck in second gear. He's got to get to fourth gear where he plays. Zach Hyman is getting chances, so I'm encouraged by that. I still think Arvidsson has been one of the most consistent players. I think he's been great. Evan Bouchard, we get frustrated with him because he's a creative offensive guy, but we also get frustrated with him when he misses and makes bad plays because he's so casual out there. You go, why the hell does this guy not care out there? He does care, but he needs to get his game going as well. So there are guys that you can circle on that roster that say, we need you to play to your potential. Tonight would be a good night to start against a very good Vegas team.
Well, Noodles, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for your time today, kind of taking a spin around the league and then taking a look at this Golden Knights Oilers tilt tonight. Should be fascinating. Appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your week, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Jamie.
TSN's Jamie McLennan joining us, brought to you as always by the fine folks at Pro-Am Sports. They've just launched a private signing with 6-time Stanley Cup champion Mark Messier. You can submit your items or select from theirs, located in Edmonton, corner St. Albert Trail, 128th Avenue, or online, proamsports.ca. You pulling anything from that then as well? I mean, we talked about the Jets. We talked about the Kings there. I do love, Kemper 4-0-3 now. Yep. He made a good point about the goaltending revitalization program they seem to be running. And yeah, Doughty out, but taking a closer look at that lineup, forward depth, blue line pretty stout. What is it? Why do we continue? Is it the market that we reside in right now with the Oilers and seeing them get, and they've been giving the Oilers a challenge in the playoffs. They haven't been pushovers. I think it's a great rivalry that's developed over the years. I think they play each other hard. It's fun from a neutral's point of view, but it's just market bias, and you're wearing glasses and you see them get past them in the playoffs and think, oh, they should be cast aside.
Every team has their own secret sauce, right? And for any team without a distinct superstar, the secret sauce is always going to be consistency of effort. And so my observation is that you have certain teams, and I'm not going to put the Jets into this because I think the Jets just have talent through 4 lines. And so they're succeeding because they just have so much depth. But when you look at a team like the LA Kings, when you look at, Boston Bruins over the last couple of seasons would be one of those where their secret sauce is the fact that they can give you a consistent 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 effort every single night. And the Edmonton Oilers are guilty of playing at 2 and 3s. And when the season gets longer, and consistently we've seen with the Edmonton Oilers, as the games get more and more serious and their effort level begins to improve, they begin to dominate. The secret sauce for the Oilers is that their ceiling is higher than just about every other team's ceiling.
Yeah.
So,
but you can't be touching it all the time, I guess. You'd like to.
It's just not the way that they're built.
Right.
It's you can't look at a Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl with panic on your face and constantly be asking them to show up. It would be nice. It would be nice if everyone around them showed up consistently.
Why not?
It's just,
damn it!
It's just the nature of the beast that you can only put so much jet fuel in, right? And you will start to burn things out.
But I'm just looking at both. I'm looking at the Kings and the Golden Knights right now, and the forward groups, all 4 lines. The depth point production is just, it's very nice to look at.
The other problem for the Oilers is that they have been successful. Right? This is a team.
Success breeds a bit of a...
No. In that you can't go to them and be like, now you got to listen to me because you screwed up last time, right? This is a team that keeps rescuing their seasons and keeps going deeper and deeper into the playoffs.
That's a dangerous game.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you agree, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It absolutely is because you are one major injury away from being in no man's land going, we don't know how to play without our magic, right?
Yeah.
And so, the flip side is that you've got an LA Kings team that plays at a high level, and then as the season wears on, and their depth players get more and more tired because they've been running full bore, February comes around and they just can't match, right? Yeah. They literally run out of gas. Connor Hellebuck literally runs out of gas in Winnipeg, right?
It's a patient game for Oilers fans that they have to play. That's why we said at the start of the season, Matty Owanek said, get me to the playoffs, and it might be, you're gazing past what you need to do, but this is the exception to that rule.
I think this is an Oilers squad that does not care about individual points anymore because they've scored all the points they need to score. They don't Zach Hyman isn't sitting around going, I wonder if I could be a 50-goal scorer. He's achieved that.
He's done it, yeah.
Right? So the only thing that this group wants is a Stanley Cup, and it's disheartening to know that nothing you do over the next 82 games when you start a regular season is going to determine whether or not you can win a Stanley Cup. And the other problem is that the style of hockey that is officiated is completely different. And so when you have built yourselves around the style of hockey that is going to be officiated in the playoffs, it doesn't necessarily make you a good team in the regular season.
780-218-9999 if you want to weigh in on anything Noodle said or what Will said here. If you agree, disagree, whatever, we will get to those. That own guy says Kyle Connor is criminally underrated. He had a nice 12-game point streak snapped last night, but I mean, with the collection of Jets players that Noodles mentioned, add him to the list. I mean, it's just, you can say that entire roster. But we move on. Nasty chat humming along as well. We'll get to a Coolbet Canada hotline of the day right now very quickly here with Zach. If you got something cooked up here, Zach, once again, you get it to coolbet.com for anything and everything relating to tonight's Oilers game against the Golden Knights. If there's anything in particular you'd like to get to, Zach, or any route you'd want to take for the Nasties, please share.
Yeah, I've been looking at some of the lines on Coolbet there, and it was pretty interesting because Nuge hasn't had that great of a season points-wise. And
depends who you talk to.
Depends who you talk to. Yeah, for sure. He's been all right. He's been all right, but I made a little parlay here, and it's plus 600.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going Matty Iwanek level crazy out in the
just a lean
depth.
Just a lean.
You're more alchemist than anything. You're trying to turn lead into gold.
That's basically what I'm trying to do here. But first off, I have Nuge anytime goal scorer for tonight's game.
Okay.
And I checked into some of the stats because I'm a big stats nerd. No. Evan Bouchard in 7 of his last 8 games has 3 or more shots on net. So I have him for 3+ shots in the match. And then for total goals, I have over 5.5 goals between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers, with 10 of the 12 games that the Vegas Golden Knights have played having more than 5.5 goals.
Okay. The over-under officially at 6.5 tonight. I know the Oilers have traditionally been, I think, an under team when it comes to that mark this season. Nuge goal. Once again, Nuge goal. Mm-hmm. Right? Bouchard, how many shots?
3+ shots.
Nuge goal, 3+ shots for Bouchard, and
over 5.5.
Over 5.5.
On the Bet Builder.
On the Bet Builder. That's Zach. You can get him up there. If the Coolbet boys are listening or watching, let's get that EST Game Day parlay going. Thank you very much, Zach. And once again, stay cool, bet responsibly with our friends at Le Cool Bet. Let's do the keyword right now for the EST Flyaway to LA. Once again, your chance to qualify. We're sending you and a friend, or you and a coworker, or you and really anybody you choose, to Los Angeles during the Christmas break season, December 26th to 30th. You will get to see the Warriors and the Clippers. Where?
In the Intuit Center.
In the Intuit.
Inside the Intuit Center.
Zach's into it. From the Intuit Center.
Into it.
Clippers and Warriors, Rams and Cardinals from SoFi, and Edmonton taking on one of LA or Anaheim in hockey action. Once again, it's presented all by the 780. You can check them out today. The word 780, the number's 80.com. Homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand, celebrating all things unique to E-Town. They work with close to 100 local vendors from this area code, helping to promote and get their brands off the ground. Once again, the word 780.com, or any of the 5 locations you can head to: Southgate Mall, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. Check out 780 today, and we thank them for sponsoring the EST Flyway to LA. The keyword today, Zach, or are you going to put it on the screen? Do you do that on the Reed Wilkins show as well? You don't? You guys don't put the word on the screen, eh?
I don't.
You don't?
I probably should, because some people have asked, how do you spell it?
Well, I mean,
how do you spell it?
For the people watching on YouTube, is this a tough one today, or can you?
A tough one here. It is the 6th today. Let's check this out. It's we got to be pretty chill heading into tonight's game. It's relaxed. I like putting people on edge, but
relaxed.
You should
relaxed.
Relaxed. RELAXED.
Relaxed.
Relaxed. Do you need me to use it in a sentence again?
Why couldn't it have been relaxed?
I know.
Why did it have to be
relaxed?
Relaxed out, guys.
Another ironic. He strikes again, damn it.
Oh, my goodness.
I love it. Just like Dustin Nielsen in a water massage when he was down in Vegas. He did the water massage, and he got a panic attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't relaxed at all, actually.
No.
It's the opposite. But relaxed. Text it, 780-218-9999. Relaxed.
Yeah. Like taking some Special K in a hot tub.
Relaxed.
You'll be too relaxed to get out. Little dark, sorry.
No,
little too dark for 7:30.
No, not at all. We were talking about that earlier. It's top of mind stuff. Relaxed, like Special K in a hot tub.
Yeah.
His words, not mine. 780-218-9999. Relaxed.
What a terrible.
Why can't it just be relaxed?
Word.
Relax.
Why? Maddie, what are you doing to us? Let's take this.
Better or worse than nude?
Let's take this.
I mean, I know this is an
straightforward, simple process.
People are texting relax.
And make it complicated.
780-218-9999. Text in relaxed. This is dumb. This is so dumb. Nude or relaxed, which, I mean, this is an actual word. I get it. But in the spirit of this contest.
You know what? This is my fault.
It is. You wanted a word. You got a word, baby.
This is my fault. I was critical of nicknames being words because they're not. And he followed it up with a simple word that he put his own flourish on to make it as hard as possible.
You seem relaxed.
Trying to stay relaxed about this.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
Zach will be giving you a call. Once again, if you texted in the word, the next step is be by your phone.
Yeah. Just during a colonoscopy, it is best to stay relaxed at all time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so dumb.
When they wheel you in on the gurney and you see the equipment they're about to put up you, it is hard to stay relaxed.
You need to relax.
Yeah, they just give you drugs. They knock you out. But I do appreciate that they show you what they're about to do, just to be like, hey, sweet dreams. Good luck with that.
Relax.
Just going to get you to hug your knee here and go to sleep.
780-218-9999.
It is Movember, by the way.
Text in. It is.
It is Movember.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Very true. Yes.
Men's mental health and physical health as well.
And your mustache is coming in quite nice.
No,
I
it
must
is
say.
not. No.
You never had a duster, hey? Before?
No, I did. I did that one year.
Did you?
One of the first Movembers. Like one of the first Movembers.
We were all doing it.
Dustin and I did it, and it literally led to depression. Because my
kind of the opposite of what we're
wife,
trying to do here. Eh?
Stopped kissing me for the last 2 weeks because she was so disgusted by it. So yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
No,
but I can't grow a good mustache. Like I'm so jealous of people like Trev, right? Like Trev can grow a gorgeous mustache. You can grow
it's gray now. That's the problem.
Gorgeous mustache.
That's gray. You haven't seen me in a while.
Mine is just it's fruitless. It's a fruitless endeavor.
Zach's got a sports update right now. We'll be back with free advice. Maybe Will can give you advice on how not to grow a mustache or something along those lines. If you need advice from our resident dad in the house today, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat as well. It is humming. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the like. We are changing 100, and subscribe if you haven't already. Zach's got a sports update. It's Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser. This is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Last night, the NHL saw 9 games with the Maple Leafs blanking the Bruins 4-0, the Flames etching the Canadiens 3-2 in overtime, and the Jets beating the Hockey Club 3-0. Elsewhere, Dylan Holloway took a puck to the neck, forcing him to be stretchered out of the rink. He was struck by the puck late in the first period before finishing his shift and heading off the ice, where he was then carted off to the hospital, with the team reporting that he was alert and stable the entire time. In Colorado, Avalanche coach Jared Bednar said that Cale Makar, quote, tweaked something in last night's 6-3 win over the Kraken, with no current updates on his injury just yet. And tonight, it's the Oilers hosting the Golden Knights for their first matchup of the season, where you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Other games see the Capitals battling the Predators, and the Red Wings facing off with the Blackhawks. In basketball, NBA has a dozen games on schedule, with the Raptors in Sacramento to take on the Kings. This sports update has been brought to you by Park Mazda and the great staff at Park Mazda, as well as Principal Mitch Lewicki. Always stay relaxed. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the TuneIn and iHeartRadio apps and on YouTube. We are approaching 200 likes for the show, so keep pounding that thumbs up if you haven't already, and also approaching the 2.5K in subscribers, so hit a sub. You'll be in tune with anything and everything going on the YouTube channel. And, of course, later tonight, Tom Gazzola will have your GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows coverage starting at 5:30, kind of leading in with the Reed Wilkins Show 3 to 6 here on EST Daily, Monday to Friday, alongside Jason Milne. Wil Fraser has cobbled together the kind of easy trivia questions. They'll be coming up at the top of the 8 o'clock hour from Mr. Mike's.
That's good.
Stop it. You are a... God, I love it. I love it, but I hate it. It's driving me wild. Your wife needs to break the stigma, Deaky Sparks says. Couch potato for a month, LOL. As again, you growing a mustache kind of was the opposite gameplay for. So maybe you're advising people, get yourself checked out this month if you are a man. Not a problem. Take care of your mental capacities. But if a mustache doesn't take you there, no need to grow it.
Listen, I appreciate the raising the money. I like that there is something that everyone can do together to raise awareness. Do it. But more importantly, do what the actual mission is, right? Address your health, both mental and physical. Take care of it. Go schedule a yearly physical with your doctor and talk to them about what either is ailing you or isn't. So, yeah.
Legal analyst Eric Macramalla will be on the way in a second. Zach is calling somebody right now. If you did text in relaxed, be by your phone.
Do you do a yearly physical with your doctor?
I do I think it's every 10 years I will go see a random doctor.
How old are you? You're 30?
I'll be 39 in December.
39,
yes.
yeah.
I'm approaching the, I'll be seeing a doctor once a week here in the next little while. I think that's probably the play, but...
So at 45 is when I switched to a yearly...
45 is the one?
Yeah, okay, that's when I kind of made sure that every year I was scheduling it in and around the same time. Got my blood taken, everything sort of...
Given the miles on this odometer, I might start a little earlier. I don't think that'd be a bad thing. You know what I mean?
You might want to,
why not? It can't hurt. Free advice right now for Damon Bunting. He is a consistent, top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area and among Western Canada, Remax Realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or Instagram, great Instagram account, at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Free advice if you need any, and especially, again, we don't know when Wil will be off this program. Again, doing some fill-in work while Dusty's away, but whether it's...
Dustin just calls me 5 minutes before air.
No,
you're needed.
You're idling outside. You either go home or you come in here. We won't know when he's back. Some morning he'll walk back in and everything will be as well. But while we have Wil's services here, we are paying him handsomely. If you have any advice you need from our resident father in
that's right.
You're the only one in the studio right now. I know there's a couple other dads around here, but you are the one. So any fatherly advice, 780-218-9999. Rip City Step says some of us just have mustaches year-round to protect ourselves. If it's a look, do you shave it during the month?
Well, that's technically what we're supposed to do, right? Like if you're going to be growing the November mustache, you're supposed to shave,
clean shave,
October 31st, and then let her rip for the month.
I was saying I do have a lot of salt coming in with the pepper now. But it's not
distinguished.
It's not a generous mix. I'm getting like a line of gray, down, it's like
an Elvira streak.
It's terrible. Yeah, like a skunk. Abutski says you'll get used to it. Now white nostril hairs, that's another matter. I mean, we don't need to. Whatever. I don't mind. Aging is you're got a great frog. This is.
Have you ever done the
wax?
The nose hair wax?
No.
Well, I've got some. I'm bringing that in. We're doing that tomorrow.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll do it on the air.
Is it dangerous?
It's wild. It'll blow your mind.
Can I do it with the ears too?
I've tried. It's too waxy. Doesn't adhere.
Can't you? Have you ever lit the candle and put it in your ear? Would you advise for that? Like, don't they do that in Turkey where you put the they light a full
they
candle?
Call it candling. Yeah.
Candling?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Candling.
Maybe that'll be a word tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. No, I've never done that, but I have done the peroxide in the ear.
Because I think I need a clear out. Like, you know how like I can't hear, like I can hear, but I'm not. Like
One of my favorite YouTube rabbit holes to jump down is the ear cleaners. The people who use like with the camera and are like just digging out the obstructions. There's something about it that like both makes you feel like incredibly like uneasy and then completely relieved when they pop the cork on that thing.
Well, because it's like you're waiting. It's the anticipation, and you're like, oh, it's going to be so clean.
Yeah.
In free advice for Damon Bunting right now, would you suggest going and getting my ears professionally cleaned out? And if so, where should I go for that? The black market? Do I go to a medical?
There must be some sort of...
Because I don't want to do it myself. I don't like putting anything in there.
That does something like that? Yeah. Now, they're just going to do olive oil drops.
Olive oil drops?
Yeah, that's the recommendation, is just a few drops of olive oil.
I don't like that.
Will kind of loosen it up, and it'll just wash itself out and fall out. It's only when it's impacted that they need to go in and scrape it out.
Like, I want it vacuumed. I want to see a tube. I want a tube going by my eye and seeing the stuff that...
Have you not done that? Gone on YouTube? Oh, you got it. Oh,
well, a buddy of mine, I knew he had a moth that went into his ear.
Yeah,
and they had to get it out because it'll lay eggs, and then you'll be a mothman or whatever.
That's how it happens.
Like that's how it happens. They infest and then they get into you. Free advice for Damon Bunting. Once again, if you have any advice that you'd like for resident father in the house, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat, Joel says zit popper in all caps. That's another one of those sick, rabbit holes. I never really got onto that one.
It's too gross.
I'll see you on the ear thing though. Send me a few links. I'd love to. Yeah, after the show, we'll.
It's intense.
Yeah. Dex says go to the Super Flea. Maybe I'll find. Is that where they flesh out ears? It's a different name now. It's like your Royal Highness's flea market or something. It's They got the Union Jack all over the place.
They got a guy, a toonie, just a straight toonie. He'll dig in there all day.
Let me just sharpen up the needle here, get right in there.
Like, basically, they take one of the pens that Dustin's been chewing on for a month and just start scraping around in there.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Red says my family doctor just fleshed out my ear. That's what I need. I need a flushing. I don't want something poured in. I want it taken out. Extracted.
You can also get like there's certain implements that basically like have a corkscrew on it that you just twist in and it'll pull.
I love it all.
Right?
I want it.
Yeah.
I feel like my life would change dramatically.
Well,
you hear everything.
You wear earbuds every day.
Yeah,
so
just pushing it in.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I never take it out.
Appropriate.
We do have a qualifier right now for the EST Flyway to LA. Thank you very much, Zach, and thank you all for texting in. Your next chance 9 to 11 on the Hangout this morning. Who do we got, Zach?
A real relaxed Richard.
Richard, I get it.
R&R. Richard, how you doing, man?
I'm great, thanks. How are you guys?
Can't complain. Will?
Richard, you spend a lot of time in hot tubs?
No, I don't. I used to, but not anymore.
You were too relaxed.
Follow-up question?
Yeah, you were too relaxed. I get it.
There you go. I used to have one at home, but not anymore.
Oh, yeah, they're a pain, to maintain. I was going to ask you, you are qualified here. You're not going to LA yet, but if you do win the trip down to Los Angeles, Warriors at Clippers, Cardinals at Rams, Edmonton taking on the Kings or the Ducks in hockey, presented by the 780, which of those events would kind of tickle your interest the most?
I think probably the NBA game. Never seen any of that live. So
yeah, and that new Intuit, the Intuit Dome. I'm saying it's all paperless. You don't even get a ticket. It's all through the app. It's wild stuff. Have you been to LA before as well, Richard, or would this be the first time?
No, I've been a couple of times, but not for several years now.
Love it. Well, you're in the mix, man. Good luck. It's December 26th to 30, and continue trying to qualify 4 times daily. Take care, man.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
That's Richard. You're welcome. He is your latest qualifier. Once again, 9 to 11 today, your next chance for the secret word in the EST Hangout. We'll be connecting with Eric Macramalla shortly. Zach will just get off the phone with Richard. Dick, right? That's short for.
I would hope not.
No, but that's what they say.
Yeah, I know, but
right?
I would hope that we've moved on.
Oh, okay. I used to have a boss named Richard, and we called it, I think
anyone who's dealt with a Richard has dropped that nickname in, whether it's justified or not.
It's just one of those things. You were mentioning you went to school with a guy that should have.
You can just call me Rich, whatever, Dick.
Rich.
Yeah. Sure, Dick. Yeah.
Bones says you're not far from Uncle Wiener's. Got to be something there. Yeah, I could probably pick up a tool there to do a little ear excavating.
Yeah. Irrigation, I think, is what they call it.
Irrigation.
Yeah.
Irrigation. Yes. Michelle R. Afternoon, guys. Or no, that's yeah. What? Why are you sending? She just sent it in ear with a asterisk. I don't know.
Wow.
Last time she texted in was November 1st.
Yeah. Well.
So ear. Okay,
you're
ear.
welcome.
Thank you very much for that, Michelle. Ear.
That's good.
Maybe that'll be text of the day. Macramalla on the. We got him on the line here anywhere. Is he kicking around?
I need to get him here. I didn't know if he was on the phone.
I don't know. Sometimes he shows up in the video link. Sometimes you might just give him a call. It's fine if he doesn't pick up. I mean, we'll take him if we can get him. I guess legal analyst Eric Macramalla.
It is ringing.
Yeah. Those ears would be hard to flesh. He's a bit of a hairy man. Like he's got a lot of that.
Yeah, but he's well thick. He's well kempt, right? Like that man pays for grooming.
As a lawyer, you'd have to be and looking good in the court of law and everything. Mm-hmm. Well, Richard sounded relaxed. That comes in from Rob from the Grove. Dick sounds way too much like a thief. Am I right? From Dash. Yeah, I get it. That's a Wheels joke right there. Once again, good luck to Wheels. Michelle R. comes in with the rest of her text.
Oh, good.
LTE, go to India. They have people whose jobs are walking around literally cleaning your ears. Also, that flea market used to have people who did ear candling to clean the ears. Never tried either. So Super Flea actually had ear candlers in it. I'm not surprised, I guess.
I think I need someone to explain exactly what what is the candling doing? Is it supposed to be like drawing the wax up and out?
The heat?
I don't know how that.
Yeah, it seems scammy, like the cupping.
That's right.
Right? That's all a scam, is it not? Haven't we proven that? Like that's been.
Yeah, my brother does that. He's had that done, and it just
cupping.
Yeah, it just looks like his wife has been hitting him with something. What's with all the bruises? It was cupping. I was like, I don't know if that does anything.
Meeting in Maddie's office with the old phone book. You know, like that we go to.
That's right.
I think Dave Jameson got a clean shave in India, like a hot shave or whatever. One of those people on the side of the street.
Yeah. They do that while they're taking your kidney. So it's just a 2-for-1 deal.
Keeping you, or whatever. Mm-hmm. As we continue, I think we might be getting. Oh, there he is. Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness, he is so handsome.
This is what I've been waiting for.
He is so handsome.
We had the voice meetup last week of Wil Fraser and Eric Macramalla.
That's wild.
But now the two doves get to see each other here on video. And I might just leave the room. I mean, there's really no reason for me anymore. Eric Macramalla, our legal analyst, brought to you as always by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who really is jealous that he can't join in this
he deserves.
threesome or foursome this morning.
He deserves. That's good.
Or an ear cleaning.
Yeah, or an ear cleaning.
Eric Macramalla, welcome back to the show. An irrigation. Yeah. Here he is.
Yeah. My man. Okay, so I got to tell you something. I got to tell you. So last week we did pure audio. I didn't even know that you were on, Will, with one L. Correct. Open parentheses, L, close parentheses. Mm-hmm. And those tweets are still available online, by the way.
Yeah.
Then I went back just to watch on YouTube very quickly, just to reacquaint myself with Will with one L.
Right.
And I said to myself, not what I'm going to say now. You got fancy glasses. But I'm like, you look like you're cut. You look like you've been doping.
Oh, show him the ass. Show him the ass.
I don't know. I mean,
you should see his ass.
No, I don't.
Tell him about the regimen.
Eric, it's very simple. I turned 45 and decided I didn't want to die. So that's all. That's all you need. You need the Grim Reaper at your door, and it kind of whips you into shape, or doesn't.
But did something happen that you were alerted to the fact that you were disgusting and obese, and that you were going to die soon?
The mirror, probably. Yeah, I changed the light bulb in the bathroom, and it was shocking. So I made a decision. But
here's the thing.
I appreciate
you should do these segments standing up and just spinning around.
I've been trying to get him to do that.
All right, well, we'll take it under consideration. That's very kind of you.
But it's all that aside. I mean, you're back. You're back. This is like, it's almost like a full circle moment. Yeah. I mean, we were on the air together back in 2011 when you found me online covering Kovalchuk and his 11-year deal with 5 throwaway years at the end, so as to artificially lower the cap hit. Remember that? Right. 1.5, yes. 1.5, 1, 5, and 5.
Absolutely.
I don't remember that. Well, it's because I'm alone. most of the time, even though I have a family. And now you're back. And I remember when I hopped on the air once, you weren't there anymore. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sad.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know if you've been listening to the show this morning, but my son, my 17-year-old son yesterday, when he came home from school, I was asking him how his day was going, and he looked up at me and he's like, well, how was your day? And he looks at me, and this is how I know, there's many reasons I know he's my son, but this would be the main one. He looks at me and goes, so is it getting progressively less and less special for both you and the listeners? I thought, yeah, that sounds accurate. It is getting progressively less and less special every day I'm here.
That's unnecessarily dark. What? I guess I would ask, what's your son's name?
Brett. I'm about to blow your mind.
Brett has no.
I'm about to blow your mind.
Brett has. Wait.
This
Brett
is
has no heart.
Upset.
Brett has no heart.
Brett with two T's.
That's a pun.
Two T's?
This is going to upset you. His name is Brett.
Brett's two T's? What the hell is wrong with your family? Anybody in your family know how to spell? What in the hell is wrong with you guys? But the joke I was making is Brett has no heart because there's a wrestler named Bret Hart. So here's the thing is that that's unnecessarily morose, lugubrious, and dark.
Yeah.
Is your son a poet?
No. Barely audible, really. Like what he says about 8 words to me every day, and they're usually of the depressing nature. So I mean, that's what's
going on with, is it the weight of 2 T's is too much for him to carry?
I think living with me is a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's a lot for most people.
Really?
So,
you seem relatively harmless.
You would think that, but I think there's a reason my oldest moved away to college. He said, I'm 18, I'm out. So, and the other one is not too far behind him either. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm sorry to hear that, I guess. If it's any consolation, after my son Daniel played hockey, he's only 11 years old, came home, and we chatted a bit, and he was being mean to his younger brother.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
And saying that he wasn't as good as him in baseball and hockey, despite the fact they both won MVPs. So, I mean, I think empirically, they're both good. But my youngest one's very sensitive. So he starts crying. He's only 8, but his face is massive, massive cheeks still. So it's like he's like 5 or 6. So I said to my son, I said, those are unkind words and they're completely unnecessary. I don't understand why you're doing this. I love you both equally, and that means I really love each of you, but it's still equal. And then he starts punching me in my shoulder where my rotator cuff is ripped. And then he makes a crack about my hairline. I'm like, what? What's going on? So
holy cow.
Yeah, I know. And then he punched me, and I tried to grab him, and he started laughing and ran away. So I guess your situation is, compared to mine, is really okay. I think you're going to be fine. I'm raising the Menendez brothers.
They're super.
I mean, it's not a good sign when my son's walking around with a free Menendez T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Always asking.
His first question this morning wasn't about the election. It was about the resentencing of the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
Daddy, has that story broken yet? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, son. Put the gun away.
Yeah. What is the future for Macramalla children? Is it all professional athletes? Like, have they looked at what you do and said, not for me?
Well, they can barely read, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell their future is. They like to just watch YouTube. They want to be baseball players. I think they don't want to play hockey because they're soft when they play, but they don't fully engage. But the future, it's going to be like it is for everybody else their age. We're headed towards a non-literate society bereft of any level of purpose because machines will be doing everything. And so you're going to have kids that'll turn into adults that'll be awfully bored, because the one thing in life that you cannot do without is purpose. When people retire, those who retire and have no purpose thereafter, not a job, but purpose, they die. And I am so utterly concerned that we are headed for a moment in history where we strip away purpose from our kids as they become adults. And that's one to grow on, Will, with one L.
There you go.
Wow, this really became I feel like your son. This is dark.
Yeah. Is it getting less and less enjoyable? Yes, it is.
Hey, Eric, you want to hear a joke?
We've got a great joke today.
Okay.
You ready? Yeah.
Is it a knock-knock joke? Okay, here we go. By the way, there were no intros. I didn't hear the intros.
There've been a few. I can cobble. We got a couple of them in the holster here too. I'll get to those. But Eric, what do What do you call a French guy wearing cheap sandals?
A French guy wearing, I don't know. That's a good one.
Philippe Fallope.
That's good.
See? You're dining out on that today.
Use it. Take it with you. Yeah.
No, I don't want to get punched in the face. Do you have another joke that's
all we got. I mean, that's it.
Funny?
It was listener submitted. It was
yeah.
Have you ever had your ears cleaned professionally or semi-professionally?
Have I ever had my ears cleaned? No, I've never. I that's a task that I handle myself. I use the Q-tip.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you guys go for professional ear cleaning?
We've been talking about this and trying to. I mean, you can go to India, get the candles or whatever. You can get water sprayed in, or you said oregano oil, olive oil.
Yeah.
No, just wondering because it is a topic that popped up here randomly on the show, and just kind of wondering if you had ever done the process.
We're just trying to figure out ways to cure Dustin. Maybe he just needs a proper ear cleaning.
Is Dustin sick or is he doing something?
Well, I think he went to a doctor the other day, and we heard the word steroid. So I think in the form of an inhaler or a puffer type of deal. Maybe a call from you might just do the trick.
Yeah.
So he's sick.
Yeah, he's sick.
He's been taken ill.
Taken very ill. Yeah.
Very.
Well, like
miss an entire World Series ill.
Missed the World Series. Missed McDavid's injury. He's it's been what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2-3 weeks.
That's
here, right?
whoa.
Yeah.
That's serious.
And he doesn't miss time. You should give him a call. Like on your.
I will give him a call
just like a one-on-one.
right now. Yeah. Let me give him a call right now, if you don't mind. Dustin.
Yeah, this
Nielson.
is great. He'd love to see this.
Well, he's going to hear it.
Like seeing him pop up on his phone that might actually be the cure. I know we're talking amulets and everything, but this.
Yeah.
I'm calling now. I'm using one of my ears that has him professionally clean because I'm not soft. He's not answering. You think is he in a coma?
He's got to be doing something. Nope.
He's not answering.
Nothing.
What a poor guy.
Could he be faking his illness?
Oh, he certainly could be.
Well, the term malingering has been used.
You did bring it to the office, and yeah.
No, he's not.
Nothing. Leave a message at least.
I am going to leave a message, just like the elevator guy left a message years ago when I was stuck in the elevator.
It comes full circle. I like it. It takes 8 years for it to come full circle, but eventually
it will.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that?
No.
So the customer is not available, and there was no opportunity to leave a message. What's going on?
So Tammy's already canceled his phone. That is.
You guys have a different number for him? Is the text number the one that he listens to?
I'll relay the number on air here.
Oh, you probably can't relay the number on the air. Okay. So he didn't answer. So clearly he's not sick. And maybe he's just broken up. That Jeb Bush, for some reason, not the governor of Florida. Yes. That low energy loser.
That's right.
And we'll leave it at that. Eric Macramalla, legal analyst, thank you very much for your time.
We've been live the entire time. We didn't even talk about anything. I love it. It's great. You can do an entire segment, talk about nothing, and it could still kind of be fun. And the entire time you're thinking about one thing. Where can I get the same pair of frames that Wil is wearing? They really are very beautiful.
Show him.
Your son Brett with 2 T's should be asking about Daddy, your fashion sense, your glasses, you have great hair too, by the way. I like the gray. It suggests a level of power, of maverickness.
The sweater is legitimately a hand-me-down from my oldest son. How crazy.
Really?
That? Yeah.
I can see your nipples, by the way.
I was hoping you would notice.
Part of the charm.
Guys, I love you both more than Wil's nipples. One nipple for each L in your name.
Yeah.
So that would be one nipple.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I hope Dustin's not dead and not in a coma. You guys take care.
We all do.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you too.
That's our legal analyst, Eric Macramalla, on retainer. You should have gave him a spin. Somebody wanted you to do the spin. One spin.
Blue is his color, man. That is.
Isn't he looking good though? Isn't the video component just spruce up that entire segment?
Yeah.
He was great over the phone, but
I want him to mediate everything in my life.
The background, the whole bit.
Yeah.
He had it all going on, pictures and everything.
He needs more leather-bound books, but besides that...
The whole bit there, yeah. But brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda. Dealer Principal Mitch Lewicki. Check him out today, parkmazda.ca. Speaking of great asses.
I guess my nipples are showing a little bit. I
Well,
apologize.
you're not chilly
I
in here or anything.
apologize.
It's the material.
If it's upsetting anyone.
What's your other son's name?
David.
With one D.
Two, actually. On both ends.
I just
bookended by them.
Davide. Yeah. It is 8 o'clock. We're going to get a sports update with Zach here for Claiborne Services. On the way, it is the final hour. These shows go by quick. Hey, I mean, you're usually you would be used to the 4-hour program on the old place. Yeah. The 3-hour just trucks by. Yeah. So it's great that we're paying you by the hour.
Yeah,
and not.
It was more organ grinder back in my day, right? We were all dancing monkeys.
Yeah, let's replay. Yeah. Kind of easy trivia coming up. Will's got the questions here. If you want to play the trivia, we're sending it to Mr. Mike's $25 for the Fiesta Fusion right now. Text in 780-218-9999. I want to play trivia. Zach will choose one lucky texter, and you'll be on next. 3 questions too many on the way. That hurts for James H. Brown and ESPN's Greg Wyshynski as well, all ahead of the wrap. It is the Nielson Show, presented by South Ford Chevrolet. Check them out today in the Fort, www.southfordchev. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser, and Zach here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
There was 9 games in the NHL last night, including the Maple Leafs shutting out the Bruins 4-0, the Jets blanking Utah 3-0, and the Flames winning 3-2 in overtime against the Canadiens. And over in Colorado, Avs superstar Cale Makar reportedly tweaked something with no farther updates on the injury just yet. And down in St. Louis, Dylan Holloway was stretchered out of the rink after taking a puck to the neck. The incident occurred late in the first frame, with Holloway staying on the ice for the remainder of his shift, being carted off. Once he came back to the bench, the Blues say that Dylan Holloway was stable and alert the entire time. And on tap tonight, it's the Oilers battling the Golden Knights with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live at 5:30 with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas getting you set for puck drop. Elsewhere, the Blackhawks go at it with the Red Wings, while the Predators take on the Washington Capitals. And basketball sees 12 games on the schedule, with the Raptors tipping off against the Sacramento Kings. And this sports update has been brought to you by Claiborne Services, where they're hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. With an outstanding mentorship program, work with peace of mind knowing that Claiborne Services is an industry leader in safety. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. Visit claiborneservices.com or give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728. The Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric and Wil Fraser continues. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser, Zach behind the monitors. You can check us out, iHeart, TuneIn radio apps, streaming, and of course on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up this morning if you are watching and listening on the YouTube. As we pursuit changing 200, we are almost there. And of course, hit the sub if you haven't already. Our pursuit of 10.5K subscribers does continue. I post the question in the nasty chat. Any of you ever get your ears cleaned? When I was a kid, too much wax, LOL, that comes in from Lars. Fish Tank with an interesting theory. I don't think you are supposed to clean the wax out, because then your ear tries to produce too much wax. It's the same as, I know it's the morning time, but with snot, right? Like, it's there for a reason. It's to prevent, it's a filter system. It's all filtration for your body.
Yes,
you don't want it to have a clean runway because then too much stuff is getting in.
Yes and no, right? Like, you are supposed to have mucus so that but you can have too much.
Yes.
And people in our line of work, more importantly, your line of work, who are constantly either using headphones or earbuds or whatever, your ears will produce an excess of wax because of that.
Because we're telling the ear that, hey, something's happening, and it's like, oh, wax overload. Yeah. Like I probably got, you could make a
it's a
hell of a cat. 3-wick candle is probably hiding in it.
It's Dustin who we should get the video of, because I guarantee that guy's got he's got like a 4-centimeter plug in there.
You'd have to hold him down to
because anytime I've come in after
you're doing what to my ear?
This station, like the volume is just through the roof.
Yeah. It's wild stuff. Zach's going to get somebody here for kind of easy trivia. Once again, the questions via Wil Fraser, which is turning into my favorite part of the program, actually, daily.
This is the one part that isn't getting progressively less and less special.
Not at all.
Yeah.
In fact, more as this grows here. But hopefully, I can't believe that Eric couldn't get Dustin on the line. I was really hoping for a bit of they could put him up to the microphone.
Sure.
It was going to be a moment there, but
now we're even more worried.
Well, not even the answering machine.
Yeah.
Like, maybe 10, because he's checking all 28 of his fantasy football teams. So maybe he refuses. Give me the phone. It's done. It's off.
Go to bed.
Maybe she Kelsey'd it, on the kitchen floor.
That's right.
Like, kind of easy trivia. 3 questions. That hurts. Greg Wyshynski of ESPN and the Wrap coming up in this hour. Zach, who do we got for trivia today?
Corey is looking to redeem himself from last time.
Okay. Corey, what's your overall record? Like 0-1?
5-1, actually.
So that was the blemish. Looking to get back in the win column today. Is it spelled with a K or a C?
C.
Corey with a C. All right. Well, you know how this goes then. Zach will start the ticker after I read the first question. You need 3 out of 5. You're playing for $25 to Mr. Mike's. And are you ready to go?
Well, let's do it.
Name a country that Canada shares a border with.
U.S.
Name an injured current or former Oiler.
Holloway.
Who do the Oilers take on tonight?
Golden Knights.
Las Vegas is known for legalized what?
Gambling.
Name a casino game.
Baccarat.
Easy. 5 out of 5.
Baccarat was a nice choice. That was a really nice choice.
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother. I've been looking forward to this moment my whole life. Excuse me, but I was just taking a shower. Tell me a little bit about Vincent. Was he a great athlete? Was he interested in chess and poetry? My name is Julius. My name is Julius. My name is Julius.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Corey redeeming himself. He's up to 6-1, and he's off to Mr. Mike's. Let the festivities begin. You're invited to Mr. Mike's Fiesta Fusion. Celebrate the flavors of their new Mexican and Spanish-inspired features like Pratadas Bravas, the Fusion Feast platter, chili lime ribeye, feature drinks, and more. Plus $1 from every feature entree sold will help nourish a hungry child through a local breakfast program in this community. Join the Fiesta Fusion at your local Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually. Corey did say he lost. Kyle the Embalmer in the Nasty Chat. Corey should have been suspended for losing so bad. What was the loss? I don't. Were you here? You remember bad?
Even if I was, would I remember? Not a chance.
Yes. He's out.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Zach about the loss, but I don't know if.
Well, if you've been joining us on today's program to go through the questions again, name a country that Canada shares a border with. He said the United States. We also would have accepted Denmark.
That's where that comes from.
Name an injured current or former Oiler. I honestly thought he would say McDavid, but he did. He went for the daily special and brought up Holloway.
Brady Stonehouse would also have been accepted.
Yeah, that's right. Oilers take on the Golden Knights. That was an obvious one. Legalized gambling. I think prostitution is illegal in the corporate limits of Las Vegas.
Prostitution's always a gray zone, right?
Prostitution is legal in the state of Nevada.
It takes 2 to tango.
Yeah, or 3, or 5, I guess. Depends on how much money you got.
Let the mind run wild.
And then casino game, he impressed me with the back
You
rat
like
pull.
that. 2 points.
I like the back rat pull. However, I was hoping for the Prairie Canadian boy saying 21.
Chase the ace. Dudley says Tommy calls it baccarat. Is that, with the silent T, I guess? Like it's not baccarat. Right? Is it baccarat? That's what it is.
I think it's baccarat.
Yeah, it's not silent. No. That's Tommy being Tommy.
You can say it however you want to say it, but as in one of the greatest singers of our lifetime, Burt Baccarat, it's baccarat.
Corey, you're off to Mr. Mike's. Enjoy. 3 questions, 2 minutes right now for the great staff at Park Mazda. Once again, Mitch Lewicki, check him out today, parkmazda.ca, where his favorite time of the year is casino night down at Park Mazda, where he closes down the shop. Him and the staff engage in a lot of, it's all above board. He gets the license and everything. I'm not trying to put him in hot water here, but
I appreciate that he chose that and not legalized prostitution night.
Fun for the whole staff gets down. We all kind of, No. It's above board. Social media accounts. Zach, you're in the producer's chair this morning. Where can the fine people follow you? Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and the rest. Or X, I guess.
Yeah, of course. J Milne and YouTube Trev had that big thing trying to get 1,000 followers.
They did.
I'm not even sniffing 300, I don't think, yet. So
why were you left out of that competition?
I don't know. I'm the underdog. I'm always the underdog. Yeah. Come on. You're always on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
He's all over that Twitter and Facebooking and stuff. But you can find me anywhere.
That's exactly how I feel. The Facebooking.
the Facebook. Which one? I'm on any platform. Zachary HMK. Spelt Zachary, Zachary, HMK.
Now, can I ask what the HMK is? That just a random 3-letter, like the Zachary alone was taken and you had to kind of add? Or does it hold significance?
Finnish for men's hockey club. So
yeah, it's my
great pull.
It's an acronym for. Well, no, it's not.
You don't have to tell. If it's private stuff, I don't.
It's initials.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
Pretty.
The
bland.
K. Yeah, she got 2 middle names.
I got 2 middle names. I'm rocking
welcome
2
in the club.
Yeah. So how come 2? But may I ask, or is it?
I have
personal?
two grandpas. That was mine.
After both grandpas and you.
Mine's not as cool. My mom wanted one name. My dad wanted to give me his name. And my mom was like, "No, that's not a great name for this year." So,
may I ask what they are?
Push it to the middle name, Heinz and Mackenzie.
Oh yeah, Heinz is your dad's name. Yeah.
And has your father
my
won an argument since, or was that just the start of just a losing streak of 21
Hey, I don't think
years?
it was a loss. I think he likes the name better than Heinz, but I would have been Heinz Kubish III. If I was Heinz. Just like the ketchup.
Yeah, his dad is something. He was at the Nasty Bash. Did you get a chance to meet him?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked
well
if
worth
you
the
didn't.
price of admission.
Yeah. At that place, you'd try not to lock in any memories.
Heinz, I love you. Well, man, did we have a good chat. Rip City Step says, Zach, Twitter is a must-follow. Fish Tank, and I agree with him here. It's like kind of like whenever I read your HMK, it's like Heartbreak Kid. I always read it HBK. That's always the memory that jumps up in my mind. Yeah. Like I thought I was the only one, but yeah. So So follow Zach today. He needs the why did we do it for Trev and Jason? No offense to them, but we didn't do it for Zach. I
listen.
I should have the 3-horse race.
Offense to them.
Well, okay, yeah, you're doing it. Yeah,
I'm saying.
I don't want to start any fires.
Why
here
are we
in the
doing it for them?
And what's most
well, but not him. I add him. I know we did it for them, but just come along for the ride.
I refuse to build anyone up. I only tear people down.
And most importantly, follow Edmonton Sports Talk on all platforms at YEG Sports Talk on Twitter, and you can find us Instagram, Facebooking, TikTok, you name it.
You got it.
We're there.
We're on Threads too, eh? I think we're on there. It's a dormant account.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, yeah. Substack. 780-218-9999. If you have any questions, throw 3 questions too many. I've got a handful here, but I know you, the listener and viewer, can always do better. 780-218-9999. Today is National Nacho Day. Boys, construct me your perfect nacho plate. And look, this does have something to do with sports. I had my first plate of nachos at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Monday. And I want to take some time to discuss this plate of nachos. The chips were nicely baked and seasoned, not just kind of, out of the bag and tossed on the thing. The layering was exquisite.
Okay.
You could go to any level of that nacho plate, and it was only for one. It was a big baking sheet, but it had about 4 layers of ingredient. I asked for no tomatoes. I just don't like the diced tomatoes.
Okay.
A nice side of sour cream. The chips were multicolored, which always kind of dazzles the eye. The jalapenos, not too thick, not too thin, but a perfect cut.
Okay.
Seeds in, obviously, as you do. I got the smoked brisket on top. That was my protein. Now, you don't need to go... That could be the place where people jump off and say, oh, I don't need protein. I chose the protein. The smoked brisket went down a dream. And then they had a drizzle of a little bit of sauce in there, like the sauce and the cheese. I need cheese. The problem with cheese on nachos is it does get cold quickly, and you get down, you kind of got to eat it fast. But the layering was good. The cheese was multicolored. It was that orange and white cheddar. The chips were baked, multicolored. It was a fine, and I know Jay and Jocelyn also order nachos down there. They're vegan. They don't like the dairy. Like they get a real plain. It's just kind of chips and vegetable, which is good in its own. But I highly recommend the nacho plate at Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Join me tomorrow in the NFL for Ravens and Bengals. But around the horn, I mean, what do you? Is it just chips and cheese whiz, or are you kind of?
Listen, it's like pizza. It's pretty hard to screw it up.
Yes,
I will say this: you don't want to go too thick. You kind of you want more surface area than girth.
Yeah, you're not building a tower here.
Yeah. And the most underrated thing to a nacho platter is, in fact, the nacho chip. And it has to be a thinner chip, well salted. An undersalted nacho chip just throws the whole kit and caboodle off.
Yep.
But I agree with you. Fresh cut jalapeno. You want to make things really fancy, do a sliced avocado on top.
Don't mind that at all.
Not cooked, like after it comes out of the oven.
Yeah, you're not talking about a guac. This is the vegetable sliced and kind of layered on top.
Yeah.
I like that. Zach, which weird places are you going to take us with this one?
Yeah.
You know what? This is actually very unique. I went to a Mexican restaurant. I forget the name. Somewhere in South Edmonton Common. Pretty new, but I went there and I got a plate of nachos, and they had the layered cheese. They had regular cheese on top. The nice, homemade, oven baked tortilla chip, well salted, very well salted. Wasn't multicolored though, which with my eyes, I like the colors. I get distracted easy. And they had queso on the plate.
Pretty delicious.
And I thought that was amazing. And the texture, I was like, what is it? I should have thought it was queso, but I've liked that. And ever since, I've been kind of itching for that same kind of queso feeling. I've been trying to chase that rush. So I got to say, my perfect plate of nachos, if you were to set me up with a plate of nachos today, the nice homemade oven baked tortilla chip with cheese layered with the queso and ground beef on top.
Queso on it, not on the side.
Not on the side, within it, so you might get your hands messy. You got to get in it. Some of the best food is messy.
Yeah.
And jalapenos as well. No onions or peppers or anything like that. Tomatoes, I agree with you. They get too soggy.
Tomatoes are soggy. Peppers and onions, I don't mind. I
just as long as it's got enough confectioner's shellac and pork gelatin, I'll be happy.
Hey, you know what? I'm surprised these haven't been eaten up already by Tony Gazzoli. Have you been eating them?
I've been. Oh yeah, half of them are. Oh, it's too early now. It's too early now. I don't need the shellacking yet. No.
Delicious.
It is. I don't. You guys were hating on this.
For the bit.
No, we needed some nachos, and this day's complete.
3 questions too many. Once again, if you have any real questions, while we have Wil here, he is the resident father of the show.
You never know
right
when
now.
this is going to end.
Exactly. This could be the last ride.
Yeah.
Andrea says that's a delicious restaurant. Zach, Jason, and I love that place. Dex says refried beans in there too. I got time for that.
You want a special ingredient that just turns everything up a notch that you've probably never tried. Substitute out whatever you were going to have for protein with a cubed halloumi cheese. See? Yeah.
A cubed halloumi cheese.
Yeah. Like lightly, like if you've never had halloumi, like a cooked halloumi, it'll blow your mind.
Johnny Accountant says, what is your view on nachos, quantity or quality? And I think, too, that depends on what activity you're consuming them with, right? Look, if you go out to the bar and it's an NFL Sunday or it's a playoff, divisional conference finals, you want to tuck in, get the, sometimes just for sport. Yeah, give me the big one. Get the, because it's fun. It's
I
don't eat them all. But
I don't think it's a sliding scale though, right? like when they go quality, like there's either high quality or there's everything else.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not a dimmer switch.
But you're usually, the high quality is usually more of a smaller portion. You're
Absolutely.
not getting that.
Yeah, you're not getting the full.
No. Which I don't
shebang.
mind. I don't mind like a crappy plate of like just big whatever.
Well, yeah, they
Like,
got a clump of cheese over here, and then the half.
You know what you're
of
getting
the
into
plate
though when
is
you
just-
order it. That's you're not expecting something of
a cheap meal menu. You just get a couple chips. That's kind of what it is. Like it's the worst feeling when you got a first couple good bites of whatever, and then there's no cheese on the nachos. Like it's just tortilla chips. You
the
get
nacho,
disappointed.
this is taking over. The Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Nasty Chat is humming. Halloumi is amazing. Rip City Step says.
It's a revelation.
T-Mac, the rugby guy, texts in a menu item from Philly in picture form. I'm going to read this. Have this in Philly. Strange ingredients, but so good. Charred lobster, shrimp, and pineapple.
Yep.
Spicy lime crema, sliced jalapenos, fresh salsa, chives, our famous cheese sauce, and cilantro.
I'm there for it all day long.
X the pineapple, but I don't mind the seafood.
Yeah.
That's charred lobster. Holy hell. Jocelyn Century nachos are amazing. Yep, totally. And thank you for the recommendation as well. Nachos are good for the first minute. This texter says they're on the table hot, then they become a congealed plate of garbage.
Yep.
It's the game you play, but you know it going in.
That's why I will always choose high quality over quantity.
You get them in you.
But it's so rare to find high quality, well, anything, but especially nachos.
You ever send your plate back and say, can I get this reheated? I think you're not saying the meal is bad. You're just saying, hey.
I live in a world where I just fully imagine anything I send back gets spit on.
Yep. Probably it's a good rule of thumb to kind of live by.
So
I
accept my lot in life.
Mike from Calgary says grilled halloumi is insane. So there, but let's move on from the nacho. Question 2. Biggest winner or loser from the NFL trade deadline yesterday, if you have one.
Detroit.
Detroit
and then Detroit again.
Detroit and Detroit again. Winner and loser. Or just,
Just wow.
Yeah.
They were already considered the best team in the NFL and then got better.
Yep.
So a little unfair for maybe some of us other teams in the NFC North.
I know the trade deadline in the NFL is not always usually, it doesn't really equate to hockey in terms of
Detroit
loading
went
up.
out there and
but
loaded
yeah. Steelers, Lions, as you mentioned, Ravens, Commanders also, the fire sale. The Saints jettisoning Dennis Allen as coach. Lattimore moving on from there, so dawning of a new day when it comes to New Orleans. But this is a time for the rich to get richer in a sense. Steelers get a receiver, maybe not the one they all had on their wish list, but they get a receiver. So we'll see how that goes. Sometimes it doesn't really matter if you get the big fish. It's a change of scenery for that individual and the team and bringing in a fresh face and a fresh look. So
sure.
Have your say, 780-218-9999. Who do you think won the NFL trade deadline? Who do you think lost the NFL trade deadline? And maybe it's just as simple as agreeing with Will there and the Lions. Cowboys, I to see that thing continue to collapse, and you know what's happening, right? At the start of the season, you'll still have people saying, well, the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. You know it's eventually going to unravel. It's just pick the week that it does.
Once again, we've had the discussion about billionaires and what you would do. As if I was a Cowboys fan, I would be irate. If I was a billionaire, I would do exactly what Jerry Jones does all day long.
Justin from Belgoni in the Nasty Chat, the movie Waiting greatly deterred me from sending food back.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
The Batwing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Do you want to show them what I'm talking about? No,
I don't know if I think we'd be flagged.
Maybe tomorrow when we get our ears cleaned. I still can't wait for that.
Yeah. No, we're doing nostrils tomorrow.
Is it nostrils?
Yeah. Nostrils. Yeah. Yeah. See, you can feel it already, can't you?
I do trim them now. Like I'm at the age now where I'm like, there's some hair coming out.
It will feel like you got a hair that was attached to your retina being pulled out.
Question number 3, biggest body modification that you've ever done to yourself in the spirit of doing the nostril. Look,
body modification.
Well, or and again, this is maybe getting a little too personal. Procedure done. You're again, maybe this isn't the question for you. You're pretty plain.
I had a follicular cyst removed from my brow. You can actually still see the scar.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
So how does this happen? They cool you down, freeze you, and take the knife out?
Yeah, it was a day procedure over at the Misericordia.
Okay. And this is just cosmetic, right? Like this is kind of a...
It was I slowly grew a lump on my head. And
your balance was getting off. You're kind of like
I remember when it first
breast reduction.
I could first feel it. And I was like, well, that's not right. And I went into my doctor, and he was like, yeah, that's probably just a follicular cyst, probably nothing to worry about, but keep an eye on it. And I went back 2 years later, and I was kind of like, yeah, you told me to keep an eye on this, and I don't know. And he literally like looked up from his clipboard and did one of those, whoa, yeah, that needs to be removed, man. Like, how did you let it get this big? And yeah, sure enough, the thing was like that big that they removed.
Under the...
they freeze it. And
but it wasn't that big hanging off here.
No. It was like, but it was starting to loop around into the ocular area, which is always a bit of a concern.
No ink, no piercings, like you're clean.
Yeah. Not a tattoo guy, not a pierced anything. That would be it. That would be
chips.
That would be the
anywhere,
biggest sort of procedure that I've had.
Zach, what about you? You've had an ear pierced, haven't you?
No, I thought about it one time.
A dangly crucifix?
Yeah, I would get the big holes in my ear as well. No, I could never do that, but needles scare me and stuff like that. So no tattoos, no piercings or anything. I had one of those surgeries though to go from 6'2" to 7'2".
Yeah.
Yeah, my knee surgery because it's my dream to play in the NBA. But nah, all jokes aside, probably the jokes. I'm not joking.
Weezer's frontman had that.
Seriously?
Heightened?
Yeah. Went over to Russia. They put the braces on, and they progressively break your legs like over a 3-month period, and just add
Rivers
like 2 inches. Yeah. Rivers Cuomo. Yeah. And he was. I think he like the. I don't quote me on this, but like the folklore is that while high on morphine is when he wrote one of their albums while recovering.
While his legs were growing.
While his legs were being progressively broken.
Yeah. That's just, well, I think he wins the segment here.
Yeah.
That'll also go into that hurts for James H. Brown.
That would hurt.
Well, I mean, the morphine.
Anytime you are suffering something that requires morphine, it probably hurts.
That hurts for James H. Brown Injury Lawyers. If you have a cyst, if you want to grow, they might be able to help you out legally. The heavy hitters of injury law.
I was going to say they'll prosecute the botched
something
procedure.
Happens. Exactly. Yeah. So if you're going to Turkey anytime sooner, where would you go for that leg thing? Where was
that? Was in Russia.
Russia. Okay. Yeah.
But I would assume Turkey does it for sure.
They do it all. Yeah. James H. Brown will help you out. They'll assist you. If you've been injured in an accident, go to jameshbrown.com. This is That Hurts. So Zach, nothing for you. Hey, no piercings, no tats, no nothing.
Well, I used to have long hair, just as long as yours. It probably is.
And you cut it.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, I looked like Trevor Lawrence the first time I met Dusty. He thought I was Trevor Lawrence. I cut it off, and he didn't even know I was the guy who sat in with you guys that one morning.
Totally changed your look,
but
changed your vibe.
I changed up from Trevor Lawrence to looking like I don't know. I don't know who I look
Eric,
like.
you have several tattoos.
I have 2.
Yeah, that's what I said. Several.
Yes. We don't need to get into that. I mean,
a big mum. Just a heart with mum on
across the back.
Yeah.
Got to hit the bench again to kind of make that thing pop.
Yeah. One was from prison. The other one was
you stop working out and it gets all like condensed and it says M&M.
Just starts to droop.
Yeah. That hurts. We're going to go back to the NHL picture and the amount of injuries. Somebody wanted to ask. You said the NHL's best forward or center, Connor McDavid.
Their best player.
Yeah, but you kind of went down the line. You did the spine. So Connor McDavid, the forward, Cale Makar, the defenseman. You also said the league's best goaltender.
No, goal scorer. Sorry,
goal scorer.
Yeah,
okay.
In Austin Matthews.
Somebody misheard and thought goaltender.
I apologize.
Like, who is it?
I apologize if I mumbled.
Is he talking Demko?
Yeah.
Is he actually saying Demko?
Well,
but you could make a case.
Demko's a top 5 in my world.
He's a top 5. Yes,
he's a top 5.
But I thought that was kind of interesting.
But no, their best goal scorer.
Yes, for sure.
In Austin Matthews.
Matthews, McDavid, Makar.
Like that's not a good week if you're the National Hockey League.
Overall, that hurts.
Right? Like if you're the National Hockey League, you're trying to sell your sport, having your best player, best goal scorer, best defenseman all out at the same time. Not great. None of them are out long term.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it's anything sort of serious with any
season ending or anything.
But Noodles talked about it at the time. It's a condensed schedule, and this is kind of what happens when you condense a schedule.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, from a soccer fan point of view, during a regular campaign in soccer with your club, they will go off for 2 weeks and represent their countries in meaningless games, to which as a club, you're paying money for the services of these players. They go off while under contract and they're going to weird countries and such with different doctors and different procedures, but with this Four Nations coming up, I mean, that's a time of the season that some teams might feel, hey, this is a pretty important time. I mean, you have it in October. You could kind of say, well, the season's getting started, whatever. There's still a lot of track left to get to the playoffs.
Now, footy fans such as yourself, like it is a completely different. There is no collective bargaining agreement, right?
Oh,
there's
lots of things are different.
There is no standard players contract.
No union.
So most of these players, it's in their contract that they get to leave.
Sure.
And some of them it's not. Who's the Canadian kid? Like there have been times where clubs have stepped in the way. And
they can prevent it.
Have said nope. You don't get to go.
And sometimes the player will agree to that. Sometimes the player won't agree to that. But I think as a fan, most fans are fans. Like we all like our nation when it's time to cheer for the nation.
Absolutely.
But that usually comes a little secondary. And again, Canada, Finland, Sweden, whatever the case, I think you'd all be more prone to cheering and supporting and hoping your players don't get hurt for your club team as opposed to the national side. So, I mean, all these things you mentioned.
The perfect example of that would be right here in Edmonton. Imagine if while the Four Nations was taking place, they played another minor tournament where Germany was playing in it. Would you want Leon Draisaitl playing in that?
That's like the Nations League in soccer too. It's pointless.
In a non-best-on-best tournament, would you want him risking injury in that? Not a chance.
Nope. So that hurts is the injury situation, both present and maybe looming during the Four Nations here. Again, not trying to... Come on.
We're not putting a jinx on him.
No, but right now, Cale Makar, all those Makar, McDavid, Matthews, lingering, tweaked, as Bednar said yesterday regarding Cale Makar. But again, Kaprizov taking one to the mouth, yet to leave. The situation in St. Louis with... I find it just strange that both Holloway and Broberg now are after the hot start.
Anyone who's played for the Oilers...
Except Fogle, who's scoring at a great clip. He's continuing to let it up. So, TV Burkle in the nasty chat. Tavares got hurt in the Olympics. I think you brought that example up.
Noodles did.
In Sochi. Don't know if he played again that year. That's to the point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Duck Dad says, meaningless games. Why does LTE hate the Canadian national team so much? And that's exactly where people will take this, and I'm fine with it.
It's because he's Saskatchewan first, folks. Listen.
Yes, I'm a provincialist.
He's a provincialist.
That's what it is.
He believes in his province before country.
Yeah. Well, even a lot of you out there may not even like Canada. You might want a Western representation, correct?
Yeah, make Saskatoon great again.
Yeah, go Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like the Buffalo Head, not the city Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about here. Northside Sandwich, I think that the Four Nations Cup will be like the All-Star Game. They aren't going to try very hard. It's not the Olympics.
Disagree.
But not trying hard leads to bad things too. Like
Connor McDavid's going to be out there. Connor McDavid.
That's the problem with a guy like him, is that you can't get him to play at
He's not going to dial back.
And you've seen this right now in his injury rehab. Yeah. You kind of want him to dial it back a bit.
And trust me, Team USA is not going to dial anything back.
Nobody's going to
dial to beat Canada.
But also with the idea too, if you ever want to put that into play, dialing it back leads to bad things happening if you're not trying to play your game. If you're thinking about taking things softly or whatever, football especially, I mean, you have to go full bore. So that hurts right again for James H. Brown injury lawyers. When accidents happen, go to jameshbrown.com. The Nielsen Show, presented as always by South Ford Chevrolet. We're going to take a quick sports update and be back. ESPN's Greg Wyshynski waiting patiently in the bullpen, so we'll get to him about the full look around the NHL. This is the Nielsen Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Last night in the NHL, the Maple Leafs blanked the Bruins 4-0. The Flames etched out the Canadiens 3-2 in overtime, and the Jets beat the Hockey Club 3-0. Elsewhere, Dylan Holloway took a puck to the neck, forcing him to be stretchered out of the rink. He was struck by the puck late in the first period before finishing his shift and heading off the ice, where he was then carted off to the hospital, with the team reporting that he was alert and stable the entire time. In Colorado, Avalanche head coach Jared Bednar said that Cale Makar, quote, tweaked something in last night's 6-3 victory over the Seattle Kraken, and there's no further updates just yet on his injury. Tonight, it's the Oilers hosting the Golden Knights for their first matchup of the season, where you can join Tom Xdola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Other games see the Capitals battling the Predators and the Red Wings facing off against the Blackhawks. In basketball, the NBA has a 12-game slate with the Raptors in Sacramento to take on the Kings. This sports update has been brought to you by Sit and Sleep. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free. Apply now to be entered in to win your purchase of up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. Sit and Sleep. Find them beside Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common. And in just a moment, Greg Wyshynski joins the Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
8:36. This is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and as well on YouTube. Hit the like, hit the sub if you haven't already. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen, and Zach producing the show this morning. Without any further ado, and he's been waiting patiently. We really appreciate him for doing that and always appreciate his time. Is ESPN's Greg Wyshynski joining us. A big night last night for you guys down there, Greg, in the States. Full slate of NHL action. What are you picking from?
I was thinking that no matter how much whiskey you drink, it doesn't change vote totals.
Nope.
As my reaction to
you tried, did you?
Last night's NHL slate. I will say this: the only thing I'll say about the election last night was that it was surreal, doom scrolling through Twitter and seeing like this is the end of democracy. Like we are now, an autocracy. And then Quinn Hughes scores third goal for Canucks.
Well, we mentioned yesterday with the NBA schedule, and again, taking the night off and everything, but you're right. I mean, everything's kind of going on, and Cale Makar tweaked something. Dylan Holloway had to be stretchered off. Like,
yeah, the Holloway thing definitely caught my attention. And,
a generous mix, though. It's kind of, in between everything else.
To get it back to hockey, because I know you guys don't want to talk about the other stuff, but like...
Who does, Greg? No one wants to talk about the other stuff.
Trust me. Of all the exports we can give you from the States, that discussion is not one that we want to head over the border. The Makar thing's a bummer. Like, I hope he's okay, because I was going through some numbers for a piece I'm writing for tomorrow on ESPN about early season trends for all the teams, and it is quite stunning to think about the October that he had. The only other player in NHL history as a defenseman who led the NHL in points through the first month of the season, and Makar led it, I think, tied with a couple people, was Bobby Orr, and he did it twice. And in both of those seasons, he ended up leading the NHL in scoring, not amongst defensemen, amongst all skaters. So we were primed, if he can stay healthy, to see a real historic run for Makar. Like, I thought we all... in the back of our minds thought this could be a 100-point season for him. It's something he hasn't done yet. I think only maybe 7 or 8 guys in NHL history have done it. Obviously, Erik Karlsson, the last one to do it. But, I mean, he was on pace to do, like, Bobby Orr stuff this year. So I hope that he can stay healthy.
We've kind of been talking about it this morning. The NHL kind of dragged its feet over the last couple of years to get back into international best-on-best competition, be it the Olympics or some sort of World Cup. Obviously, the Four Nations this year is condensing the schedule. Do you think that there is any sort of I told you so going on at league offices amongst owners maybe? Because we talked about it. There's no alarm bells, but currently your best player, your best defenseman, and your best goal scorer are all out with an injury at the same time. That's not a great look for a league.
No. So there's a couple of ways to approach that. One, obviously, is just like the grind of the schedule and the larger discussion that the NHL and the PA are going to have over the next year about, should we shorten the preseason? Should we lengthen the regular season? What does that mean for the health of the players? But in speaking about the Four Nations tournament in particular, we talked with Billy Guerin, the Team USA GM, the GM of the Wild, on our show The Drop this week. And it's one of the things I wanted to know. Like, he's got a chance to put 2 of his guys on Team USA, and Matt Boldy and Brock Faber. Both Faber is expected to be part of the defense core. Boldy is kind of on the cusp of maybe making that roster. And I said to him, look, man, like the Wild are pretty good. Like you guys are second in the division behind that Winnipeg juggernaut. It looks like you're going to be competitive. You know, if you are on track to try to make the playoffs, the idea of loaning your players to this midseason tournament where, you know, they're going to play an extra couple of games, there's always the possibility of them getting hurt. Like, how do you feel about it? And he kind of just said, look, man, it's the best players that make the team. You know, they have a chance to represent their country, and you have to kind of put that ahead of maybe your own best interests as the team GM when it comes to the extra mileage these guys are going to have this season.
Greg, ESPN's Greg Wyshynski joining us this morning. Your thoughts tonight? Vegas Golden Knights rolling into town. Pretty good at home, unblemished, but winless on the road. What can you tell us in a bit of a scouting report here of which kind of Golden Knights team we're going to see tonight here in Edmonton?
Not surprised about the home ice advantage, as anyone who's ever been there knows. It's a great place and a tough place to play. They're an interesting team because I think that they're a team that a lot of people might have written off before the season. When you look at that roster and you see what was on the wing for them in particular, you're just kind of like, where did, like Marchessault go? Where did all these guys go that they used to have putting the puck in the net? But they found some forward combinations that work. Obviously Jack Eichel continues to be Jack Eichel, and they're just a team that really knows how to play well together. I think the fact that you can have Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, and Noah Hannafin on the ice for 53, 55 minutes of the game. One of them's out there is also an advantage that other teams don't have. So they're Vegas, man. Like they're a well-oiled machine at this point, and the parts change, but they just keep doing what they do.
Also, I think tonight, goaltending matchup-wise, we're talking about Four Nations. Skinner traditionally pretty well against this Vegas Golden Knights team, Aiden Hill as well. Any thoughts when it comes to that? I know you're more American-based and centralized, but in terms of Canadian goaltending, are these kind of the two top horses right now that you see?
Oh, no, I'm very interested in the Canadian goaltending, my friend. Extremely interested. One might say I obsess over the idea that the United States goes 5-6 deep, and you guys are like, should we use Aiden Hill, Stuart Skinner, or
interested in that type of form? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I Ardo Cal, my colleague on the drop, I think said that he expects it's going to be Skinner, Binnington, and then probably Marc-Andre Fleury as the third guy. There's a notion of like put Fleury on the team because he's done the international thing and also for vibes. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that maybe he's the third guy. But again, like, the thing that Skinner has going for him, I think, is seeing the way he battled during the postseason run last year, and just wasn't dominant by any stretch of the imagination. But when adversity hit for him, he came back and he played his best hockey. And I think there's something to be said for that level of mental toughness in a short tournament like this.
He also tends to overachieve against whoever is on the other end of the ice. Right? When you look at the playoffs last year, each series that he was in, he pretty much outplayed the guy at the other end of the rink, didn't he?
I'd have to go back and look at the stats, but I think it was close. And obviously, I think the more important thing, and the reason the Oilers came within one win of winning the Cup, is that he wasn't a liability on most nights. I mean, his liability games were very early in the playoffs, and then obviously he gets the reset. And then from that point on, there weren't a whole hell of a lot of nights where you're pointing at Stuart Skinner as the reason that they lose a game. Again, there weren't a lot of nights where you pointed at Stuart Skinner and said he's the reason we won the game either. Right. But I think as any Oilers fan knows, you'd rather take he's not the reason we lost than we're relying on him every night to bail us out.
Greg, coaches added to NHL 25 EA Sports. I don't know if you've seen all of the full roster yet of the coaches, but which one are you most excited to see in video game form? For the first time, I do believe, since 2005.
I mean, if we can, I know that they have the likenesses in the game, but if we can get, the actual, like, how like you have signature moves. If we can get a signature move of John Tortorella barking at a referee because he called the tripping penalty on Travis Konechny, like, that'd be great. But here's the thing. So EA Sports actually, I wrote about the coaches likeness thing this week, and EA Sports actually emailed me to apologize because they had been telling people that it was the first time that coaches' likenesses had been in the NHL series. And people were sending me screenshots of a grotesque pixelated Mike Babcock from some earlier version of NHL at like 06 or 07.
Yeah.
And so EA had to like walk it back. Like, obviously it's a big deal. Like they've never done it up like this where there's attributes and they're graded out and all that other stuff. But it's not the first time we've had what were supposed to be the likenesses of coaches. I mean, like, it's like Joel Quenneville, but he looks like, Kirby from the Nintendo games. Like,
I'm looking at an old Pat,
great.
I think I'm looking at an old Pat Quinn, but they got the eyebrows just like perfect. Like I know it's older times and older technology, but I mean,
seems like a missed opportunity too, because they could have marketed it as now Babcock free. So,
I mean, or go full on and just be like, it's Babcock and you can play it on your phone, which is very Babcockian.
What else you got cooking up at ESPN there, Greg?
That's the biggie for tomorrow. It's all 32 teams. It's checking on trends, trying to see if they're going to stick or not. And then, on the drop that just came out, it's on YouTube and on wherever you get your podcasts. We pick the Canadian and American Four Nations rosters and also do some deep diving on the OV Gretzky chase and the fact that the Winnipeg Jets are like a total wagon, but are also not filling all the seats in their arena, which to me is great news for the people of Phoenix. Eventually,
we don't like to talk about that too much up here. You mentioned that, and people.
You guys are fine.
Ooh.
You guys in Calgary are fine.
Sure, we are.
It's one province, a couple provinces over. They got to worry about, I think.
Yeah. Greg Wyshynski, ESPN. We appreciate your time this morning, man. Go sleep off that whiskey consumption.
Yeah, it'll take about 4 years, but I appreciate it.
There you have it, Greg Wyshynski. We really appreciate his time as always from ESPN. I love the coaches. I love adding the coaches. I wish though NHL you could play as the team mascots like they have in college football, and you just get a full line of 5 out there, all looking like the guy from Philly or whomever. You get a bunch of Hunter the Lynxes out there playing the it's the mascot play. That's my favorite.
They also need to include like legends.
Yes.
Of coaching in there, right?
Absolutely.
So that you could bring in a Pat Quinn.
Bring them all back.
Yeah.
Let's get into a modified orange and blue breakfast right now as I eat yet another candy corn.
I
don't know why I'm doing
this.
What
are you doing?
I'm a sick man.
Yes, you are.
I'm sick. Zach, you want to?
Or you're about to become. Like.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
You're manifesting it right now.
Yeah. Trying to join Dusty on the LTIR.
Yeah, well, it'll happen.
Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson. Zach is well producing the show today. Nielson Show presented by Southford Chevrolet. It is the Orange and Blue Breakfast. Of course, Oilers and Golden Knights tonight down at Ice District. Just taking a quick look at the lines. For Vegas, Eichel between Barbashev and Stone.
Barbashev.
Tomas Hertl, 4 goals and 8 assists on the campaign between Dorofeev and Howden. William Karlsson centers the third line between Tanner Pearson and Alexander Holtz, and Nicholas Raw and Keegan Colasar and Cole Schwint on the fourth line.
Cole Schwint.
Noah Hannafin, Petrangelo, Braden McNabb, Shea Theodore, Nicholas Haig, and Zach Whitecloud are your defensive pairings. And, of course, Aiden Hill expected to be the starting goaltender tonight. He's 5-2 with a save percentage of .874 on the season. For your Edmonton Oilers tonight, as far as we know, Nugent Hopkins between Hyman and Skinner, Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Arvidsson, Henrique in that famous third line between Brown and Janmark, and Noah Philp centering Corey Perry and Derek Ryan, Evan Bouchard and Ekholm, Nurse Stetcha, and Brett Kulak and Ty Eberson are your defensive pairings. And, of course, Stuart Skinner, the expected goaltender tonight between the wickets for the Edmonton Oilers. And he comes into tonight with a record of 3-4-1 with a save percentage of .881. Boys, keys to an Oilers victory tonight. Will, I'll start with you, Zach. If you want to throw in a key to the keychain as well, feel free.
Shooting themselves out of a cannon to start the game like they did in their first 3 games now without Connor McDavid.
Little pop.
Continued early strong play they will need to do.
And I know last game we talked about hits specifically, but I think just taking a more physicality approach, not necessarily just because they're winning in the hit department. As I said, it's a stat that's counted weird in different rinks, but I just think a more physical-driven game, and I think it will be against an opponent like Vegas. These two teams, traditionally over the last little while, don't really like themselves. Divisional matchup. Yada, yada, yada. But I think just get a little physical out there. Again, I think they are perfect. I don't know when they drop the gloves, they seem to get going. So maybe a fight tonight.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of it.
I know, but it's funny how that's working, right?
It's
where they get their juice.
always hopeful that this sport will move on from it.
I hear you.
But man, it does seem to work with this lineup. So,
Zach, what do you got?
Pardon me. I think that they just have to play a very simple game. They can't be slow. You got to get on the horse and start right away, especially against a team like Vegas, who 10 of their 12 games has had more than 5.5 goals.
Yeah,
over
they can
5.5
score.
goals.
Yeah.
So they have had a lot of goals, and the Oilers haven't. And in some games, they've let in a lot of goals. So just be simple. Don't try and force the offense because it will come. The Oilers had a lot of shots last game and weren't able to get one past
They got
Allen.
Jake Allen.
So
Jake Allen. Yeah, you're not going to get Aiden Hild, are you?
Yeah. Get goalied in.
He's no Jake Allen.
Yeah, that's the talk we're having right now. Hey, like,
so just go out there and don't try and force the unnecessary plays.
Well said, Zach. Let's get to the injury report here as well. It's for Podium Physiotherapy. Knee pain from that nagging ACL, hip or shoulder pain slowing you down, back pain after long days at work. We've got you covered. Whether it's a sports injury, post-op recovery, or the wear and tear of everyday life, our expert team is here to get you back on track. Podium Physiotherapy, NHL caliber treatment for the everyday individual. Book now at podiumphysiotherapy.com. For the visiting Golden Knights, Ilya Samsonov day-to-day with an undisclosed injury. Victor Olofsson, Lucas Cormier, Jordan Gustafsson, Jacob Demek, and Robin Lehner all listed on the IR. For the Edmonton Oilers, of course, Connor McDavid day-to-day. In your terminology, it's 24 to 48 hours or something. Yeah,
give or take.
24, 72.
Yeah. He's half hour by half hour right now for the Oilers.
Who knows? Saturday you're seeing him, right? Against Vancouver? Is that like
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would
People
think
were
so.
teasing tonight. You knew that was going to happen.
Like
but Saturday.
if you don't let him in the lineup tonight, he will not let you make that decision.
Everybody's so sure he signs back here. That's the fact. Like that's what gets him to. Well, I wanted to play. They wouldn't play me.
They wouldn't let me play.
Man.
Yeah.
Evander Kane, Carl Berglund, and Brady Stonehouse round out the IR as well.
He's the anti-Kawhi Leonard.
Like, yeah,
right?
Wouldn't that of all the scenarios?
Yeah.
Don't want me. I don't want them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We wish him well, along with Dustin Nielson, host of the Nielson Show here today.
Wow, they both need to drink the pink.
That was the drink. Look, drink the pink. Hit up Johnny T with some of those amulets.
Yeah.
Stay away from that 5G.
Yeah.
You'll be right as rain in no time. Let's get into the wrap now. That is your Orange and Blue Breakfast. Once again, Tom Gazzola will get you set. He'll have your GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows tonight. Coverage starting at 5:30 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Kind of tail end of the Reed Wilkins Show, 3 to 6 with Reed and Jason Mills. So nice crossover there between the four of them. Hernan Sell is also joining in for the GCL Diesel pre and post. It is time for the wrap. For William Huff, if you want your place to look as good as ours, visit the team at WilliamHuff.com. They've been in business since 1952. You know they're incredible at what they do, WilliamHuff.com. Gentlemen, what did we learn on the show today? I think it's pretty simple for me. The St. Pierre McWarren mannequin.
Yeah, it was a full geography show.
This show, and it kind of your son said it best.
Mm-hmm.
What was the quote again? It's getting less special.
Yeah. Is it getting progressively less and less special?
This show, I think, illustrated that point a lot. We had fun. I mean, I'm not saying
tomorrow though we're bringing the heat. We're going to rip hair out of our noses.
We'll be back. The visual component, you don't want to miss it tomorrow. Yeah, Maddie will be back. We'll be ripping hair. And what
can you imagine what's going to come out of him?
He's a hairy. Those legs.
Yeah,
if you've seen the legs,
he might pass out.
You could make a coat.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is this thing? What is it? Wax? I mean,
it's wax. It comes on a little stick, and you push it up your nose,
and you leave it in there.
You
for
give
a bit?
it 90 seconds, and then you count down like you're heading to Mars, and you just pop her out, and
you get some tree roots in there. Hey, like
oh, buddy, like it will amaze and horrify you at the same time.
I don't want to do this, but I kind of do.
Yes, you do. Exactly. Right? Yeah.
I also learned various ways I can clean out my ears. Somebody just saying, you go book an appointment at a Mediclinic. Simple as that. So maybe I'll.
Okay.
Never knew it. It was right.
Get your ears checked at. You can get it at Costco for free if you got it.
I can't get in there. I don't have a.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't get the exclusive membership.
Not a member.
You're not a VIP.
Unlike a TIEF, I can't just go walking in there and they hand me awards without a membership card. So, we also learned sound of the day. What did you learn on the show today, Zach? If anything,
I've learned a lot of things. I learned that you guys are a great duo.
No,
I didn't
stop it.
Come on. This isn't neither the time nor the place to be. Yeah.
I learned that Eric Macramalla looks fantastic in blue. Blue is his power color.
You should have showed him the ass. You should have.
You know what?
The visual and turned
That's not what
around.
I'm here for. Stop treating me that way.
Wow.
I'm not some hussy that you just parade around your friends to show off.
That's kind of the idea with bringing you in.
Okay.
The visual component.
I'm more than just this piece of candy. I've got a brain, man. I think things.
Zach, it was great having you. You haven't produced this show, you said, what, for a couple of months?
Yeah, since before the new show was launched. So before September, whenever. It's been a while.
Well, you snapped. You did a bang-up job, man, and we appreciate your time. Zach, everyone, Matt Iwanek will be back in the producer's chair tomorrow. As we are continuing on for the wrap for William Huff, your sound of the day, Wheels is on his way to Denver right now. I think it's Wheels Up. He is in the air, heading to that airport's
I'm
weird,
so
hey?
not here for this. I'm just not. You're a sick man. You know what this is?
I can give you your phone number,
This is the audible equivalent of you eating candy corn. That's what this is.
Well, why don't we all have a little slice while we listen to
this is confectioner's shellac.
This is the pork gelatin right here for your ears. This is Wheels this morning on the tarmac.
Good morning, EST and Sports Talk Radio AM Nasties. How are you all doing? I am here on the airplane about to leave for Denver, Colorado. We are then going to Dallas, Texas. We have to stay in Denver for about 4 hours, and then we're on our way. So wish us luck. See, I got the hat. It's going to be like a drone going everywhere. So here we go. It's going to be fun, all right? I'll keep you guys updated. Take care.
Fascinating stuff, eh? So he's going to Denver. He's going to stay there for 4 hours, then go to Dallas. That was a great zoom in, by the way, Zach. You got the face and everything. I love it because it wasn't just an audio file; it was a video component too. That you get the full visual, which you love. You love a close up of a teeth, eh? Getting right up there. He would benefit more from that nostril.
Are you done?
He's done. We are not. Still got 4 minutes in here.
Yeah, feels like an hour.
Hang on, it's coming up next with Matthew Iwanek. He'll have your next chance as well at the keyword today, so you can relax with him. Get relaxed in the EST Hangout. Well, that's something, eh? 9 to 11 this morning. Coming up next, keep it on autoplay. If you are on the YouTube, he'll switch you right over.
After that, I am ready for some Special K in a hot tub that I never get out of.
Man, we have been hitting so many notes today. It has been ridiculous. Text
ready to be too relaxed.
We need go downstairs to the boys. They'll hit on both fronts.
That's right.
I'm sure they'll
Hey-o.
A&W has a deal for you, and we also have $20 for you for text of the day if you feel like you have some time here, 3 minutes to swoop in. But I don't think you're going to steal it. Not today from this joke. What's better than one A&W Mama Burger made with a perfectly seasoned grass-fed beef patty topped with pickles, a slice of onion, ketchup, mustard, and teen sauce, served on a toasted sesame seed bun? 2 Mama Burgers for only $9.99. You can enjoy them today at A&W, and it is game day. Mama Burger and fries combo, $5. That's right, $5 on Oilers game day for Mama Burger. And it's a good, out of the burger family, it's that one patty. It's all you mentioned about portions.
Yeah.
It's really all you need.
Yeah.
The Mama Burger and fries, $5 at A&W for game day. So we're giving it today. It's got to go to Box Pounder, pillar to post. He had the joke. He had a Macramalla intro as well, but...
No. This is like I said, you can dine out on this joke for an entire week.
He also texted in relaxed and relax, both about 50 times.
Just covering his bases.
So I'm going to go all the way back here. Box Pounder, $6.54. What do you call a French guy wearing cheap sandals? Philippe Falop.
Love it.
Take it with you. You could use this multiple times, morning, afternoon.
Write it down if you have to, but keep that on you.
I wouldn't tell it to your family. I'd tell it to individuals, family members, so you can kind of get the most juice out of it, right? Take them aside, pull them aside.
If you find yourself in a public restroom stall today,
blurt it out.
And you find somebody else comes in and sits in the stall next to you, that's an icebreaker right there.
If you're heading to the game tonight, you're sitting next to somebody maybe you don't normally see, is there something like that? Hey, I got a joke for you. It'll be a bit of an EST lighthouse, like you hear that joke, you'll know.
Yeah.
Immediately.
This is the red door. You knock in 3 times, they go password.
Yeah, it's the speakeasy.
Philippe Falop, and you are in.
Bones has a joke. Joke upgrade. What do you call Deneau faking a penalty?
I don't know. What do you call Deneau faking a penalty?
Philippe flop.
I see he's working on it. You know what?
It's a good spin on an original.
Yeah, you know what? That's a workshop. He's workshopping it. I don't know if he's got to fine-tune it a little, but there's something there.
You'll be back tomorrow, probably.
That's how they do it at Saturday Night Live.
We have the Oilers and Golden Knights tonight. We also have the return of NBA action. Raptors visiting the Kings. Maddie's Lakers are in Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. Your Bulls in Dallas to face the Mavericks. But we'll be back tomorrow with another full slate of sports and other things, waxing our noses and such. For Zach producing the show, bang up job, man. I'm Lieutenant Eric. This is Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson. Presented by South Ford Chevrolet. This was The Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.